All right, and let me see. All right, here we go. Got something on. Need to probably try to set these things up still. Yeah. Well, I'm waiting on Matt to come through. Should be on pretty soon. Didn't want to leave everybody up hanging for that long. But we do have some we do have a few updates for the channel today. After yesterday's stream, we'll get into that once Matt hops on with us. And yo, what's up, John? I don't know. I left the banner hanging up there for a little while. I thought I'd give everybody more time to jump up on the stream, but I don't know. I guess everybody's kind of waiting for right now. I thought it made for good waiting music. You know, I wanted something that people could go ahead and you know, just chill out for a little bit while we got everything started. A few things to get into today. Let's see. Yep. You know, I really don't want to go straight into like all the shit lib stuff with the with Pelosi was out there on CNN today. We had more of near Tandon. You're gonna be scared when you sleep. What are you talking about? I mean we're a late night show, so I mean figure kind of play into that a little bit. You know, but you know, might as well go ahead and start with this Bernie thing that he was doing today. There we go. So as we've already kind of speculated before, Trump is more than likely going to announce a 2024 run, or it's expected. It's not it'd be more surprising at this point if he doesn't. You know, I mean, by all accounts, he's not going to go away. So one of the things that we had talked about was whether or not he was going to go ahead and get set up during or around the inauguration to go ahead and announce his next bid. So given that, then Bernie Sanders actually got to weigh in by now. And let me see. All right, there we go. I got it.
Thanks for being with us. The president dangling a 2024 run out there. You've said that the Republican Party has, quote, virtually collapsed and become a cult. If President Trump has a hold on the party for the next 4 years, is there any hope of bipartisanship or getting stuff done?
Well, it's hard to say, Anderson, but what is unbelievably disappointing is that when you have a president who is working overtime to sabotage and destroy American democracy, that you don't have more than a handful of Republicans who have the guts to say, yeah, Joe Biden is president, it was a fair election, and let's go on. The degree to which they are intimidated and frightened by this president is unbelievable, and it makes me see the Republican Party today as kind of a cult of the individual, that individual being Donald Trump.
I mean, the best case scenario for Democrats is to gain control of the Senate with a 50-50 split with Vice President Harris, then casting the tie-breaking vote. They would both need to win both Georgia runoffs, obviously, for that to happen. If
Can't hear it. Thought this should be working. Not sure why it's not getting any audio for you guys. Let me see. Nope. Okay. All right. Nope. All right. Nope. No audio still. You can hear me, right? Yeah. Hopefully you can hear me. Come bounce back over here.
Candidate, if not,
How
I
about
will
now?
demand that Congress
Y'all got
raise
it?
the minimum wage to a living wage. I'm going to demand that workers, women get equal pay for equal work, that we cover all people during this pandemic with health care, that we lower the outrageously high cost of prescription drugs. We deal with the racism within our criminal justice system. We deal with immigration reform. I believe that that is what the American people want, and I believe we will succeed. Obviously, it will be easier if we win those 2 seats in Georgia, much easier.
All right, you can hear
But
me.
even
You
not,
can't hear the
I think
audio.
that is an agenda that the working people of this country want, who are today in worse shape economically than at any time since the Great Depression.
All right, let me see. I think I got Matt through now. All right. Yeah, that was a little weird. All right, we'll go back and play that clip after I get Matt through in here.
Yeah.
Yep. All right, Matt. I got you now. There you are.
Open up that Zoom.
All right. Yeah.
That Zoom,
That's what I
son.
thought, Gears. Yeah. See, I don't know why. I don't know why the audio wasn't working for you, Juan, but I'll go back and go over that clip again because the main part of that was the whole Trump thing. Oh yeah, here you go. Maybe that was it. Maybe I didn't catch that first time that I was playing through. Did you get the Zoom shit set up, Matt?
I'm on that Zoom. Maybe I just don't listen to enough music, but I feel like there should be more songs about I'm on that Zoom. I'm on that Skype.
You know, it was there you go.
I'm on that Google Hangout.
You know, there was a tweet that I had read before, bro, about that now any movie that you see with a public gathering is kind of a period piece.
Yeah, I know. I feel that way.
You know, what I had thought about that though was you know, for me now looking at movie, if I see a movie where like they're doing some kind of get together, there's a bunch of people in one spot, and it actually kind of gives me anxiety, and I'm looking around for the masks.
I know, right? Yeah, or like people kiss on the cheek.
Yeah, I mean, like when you see like noticing little things, like they're shaking hands or standing too close together, doing some shit like that. It's like, wait a minute, do they have the hand sanitizer? Where's their mask? What are they doing?
Yeah.
And I'm waiting for like the next wave of movies and TV shows where they just include straight up all the social precautions that we've been having to do over the last year.
Yeah, it looks like it.
I
I saw an ad for something last night that was like, some like CBS drama, and they were all wearing masks and shit.
Really?
Yeah.
Or the next episode of Law and Order is going to come out, and they're all going to be wearing masks and social distancing when they're doing all their.
Yeah.
Yeah. Apparently, we gave John the creeps earlier when I was out with the new intro music that we got.
What new intro music?
Yeah, like when we put up on the waiting screen, I put a nice little theme song for everybody, to keep them entertained.
Oh. What is it?
The Candyman theme. It's a cover though, so we can get away with it.
What? No, that's not how that works, man.
It's
That's
a
gonna
cover.
get you linked. No, it doesn't matter.
Oh, come on. All right, so you're telling me that you can get flagged for copyright if I'm just going around and like humming a song. It's essentially
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
so the intro of the show is me just going like dun 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 da 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 dun dun dun. Then we're gonna get flagged.
I mean, usually you get like a couple bars without getting gacked, but like if it's like if you do it for a few seconds, yeah, it'll pick up because it's all algorithms, man. It's not like a person searching it. It's just.
I looked at that. It didn't have a copyright claim on the video.
What?
I mean, at worst, what are they gonna do? They're just gonna mute us
Yeah.
again. We got muted last. You know what they got? You know what they muted us for on the last video? One of the clips from that Watch Mojo shit where we were looking at Exorcist 3.
No. That's my show.
The show is off the grid, man. It's cool. Thanks, Gears. You see, I gotta get used to it. We just put a chat box in this thing, so all your guys' comments come up automatically. But why don't you want to go ahead and break the news to everybody about our current status?
Neoliberal shills.
You see, look at you. We have good news to give to everybody. Because I
did a pretty funny Nancy Pelosi tweet earlier.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, that was my good news.
Okay, come on. Yeah, we have better news right now. Come on, bro. We just hit affiliate.
Yeah.
That's right. So we reached all the requirements. So thanks everybody who went ahead and followed us up. And we just got to affiliate status, and we're gonna, do you want to actually enable that right now? Because the only thing you have to do is put that 2-factor shit on.
Where is it?
Let's see. Let me.
Did I get an email?
No, it's a text message. Let me send it to you. Let's see. Where's your shit? There we go. 0. Let's see. Ah, crap.
Here we go. You're invited to be a Twitch affiliate.
There you go. It should have sent you a code now. There you go. We're gonna spam bits. We're looking forward to that.
Onboarding.
Did it send you a thing to do?
You must enable 2-factor authorization.
Yeah. I just enabled it, so it sent you. It should have sent you a code to your. It looks like it's into your Gmail.
Okay. Wait, me to DM it to you?
It's just a 6-digit code, right? Just pass me the code.
Yeah, I don't know what if somebody steals our affiliate status.
What are you talking? Well, how are you gonna?
Zero.
All right.
086
All right.
926.
926. Gastoro's gonna jump in on it. All right, there we go.
Yes,
All right,
sir.
now I just text you.
Install Authy to get your security codes.
Yeah, no, it sent you a. All right, should have just text you. Did it text you?
Yeah, I just have to install this app now.
You have to install an app. It doesn't just give you a 2-factor code.
Mm. I mean, maybe this is like how they pay you. I don't know.
Yeah, we gotta set all that stuff up too. But let's just do that code part.
Yeah, the email said
No, a text. It sent you a 7-digit text.
oh 687
All right.
6088.
6088. All right, there we go. All right, now what the hell is it doing? Oh. All right, let me do this part. I know this is riveting content, but we're just wanting to go ahead and armor up. Everybody go. That's it. All right. We're enabled. And yeah, I think we got it. Yep. There we go. I've been saving this one. There we go. Officially affiliates.
Fuck yeah. Couldn't have done it without Joe.
Yeah. Thanks everybody.
691123. 1, 2, 3.
All right, now, all right. So let me go back to that Bernie clip. Did you catch that when they were asking him about the whole Trump
Do we
2020?
need a Twitch token?
A Twitch token? I don't know. Do we need a Twitch token now too? Is that a whole
Why
thing?
did it ask me to?
I don't know. I don't know. It
Um,
says that it's completed,
Okay.
so I think we're
Why
good.
did it tell me to get here?
Yep. Thanks, Gears. Thank you. We appreciate that. You know, we're at. I think we get to give away like some VIP statuses, so we'll probably go ahead and do that for a couple of y'all that pop into the stream every night.
Yeah. Oh, man, this shit
But
looks,
once we mess with that a little bit more, we'll we'll figure out how to do all that fun stuff.
yeah. Gotta get those Amazon Primes. Look at your grandma's Amazon Prime account.
Right.
Fucking sub to her shit.
All right. Let me jump back to let me jump back to that Bernie clip. And he was on with Anderson Cooper when he was talking. They asked him about Trump
Anderson?
2024.
Nuh-uh.
Yeah.
And he was like, listen, wouldn't have had this problem if they hadn't elected such terrible Democrats.
You see, let me pay for a sub. I got you. Give it to newbies and they come back. Yeah, that'd be dope. they appreciate that. Let's see. All right, come on, Bernie.
A lot of what you're saying, though, depends on, you know, I remember talking to you in the past, and I don't want to misquote you on, but just I remember you saying that it, you know, to get some of these things accomplished requires not only an outpouring at the ballot box, but also an ongoing outpouring of people being involved.
That's right.
And there's a
That's
lot
right.
of there's a lot of folks, and I'm wondering if you get this sense, who are sort of exhausted and, you know, they feel Joe Biden got elected, Democrats, and now maybe you're
Bernie's
taking
so
their foot
alpha.
off the gas pedal.
Well, we can't afford to do that. And I know that there are incredible grassroots organizations who are working in Georgia, working all over this country, bringing working people together to demand that we create an economy that works for all of us and not just the few. And I think that if you had a President Biden, a Vice President Harris, going to Kentucky and asking the workers there whether they're satisfied with a $7.25 an hour minimum wage, you know what, I think Mitch McConnell may start to move. And I think that's true for Republican senators all over the country. The truth is that today people are hurting in a way that we have not hurt for generations. People want action. And I think if the Biden administration is strong and forceful and comes out with a list of proposals and the American people are saying, yeah, that's what we need. Of course we should cover health care for all. Of course we got to stop being ripped off by the drug companies who charge us 10 times more for insulin than they do in Canada. Let's go, Joe, let's do it. And if we can rally the American people, even if we don't control the Senate, I think we can get a hell of a lot done.
Just in terms of I want to ask you where you see stimulus negotiations heading right now. Speaker Pelosi, Minority Leader Schumer have said the bipartisan proposal made yesterday should be used as a basis for talks. Do you think they'll actually be able to compromise with McConnell on get something done?
Well, I think, in all due respect to Leader McConnell, what he brought, his proposal is literally laughable. He doesn't have a nickel for unemployment supplements. We provided in the past at least $600 a week. He doesn't have a penny. All over this country, people are worried about being evicted. There's no $1,200 check for those people. So I think his proposal is literally laughable. I think the other proposal brought forth may be a start for discussions, but we got to go a lot further than what that proposal now entails. For example, that proposal does not have the $1,200. I would do $2,000 a month stimulus check, but it's a start. But we've got to build on that.
The last time you and I spoke, you said that the progressive movement deserves a seat at the table of the Biden administration. You've since said you'd accept the job of Labor Secretary if President-elect Biden asked you to join the cabinet. I want to play what Biden told the NBC last week when he was asked if he'd talk to you or Senator Elizabeth Warren about cabinet positions. Let's listen.
Let's see.
I've talked to them. Look, as I said, we already have significant representation among progressives in our administration, but there's nothing really off the table. But one thing is really critical. Taking someone out of the Senate, taking someone out of the House, particularly a person of consequence, is a really difficult decision that would have to be made. I have a very ambitious, very progressive agenda, and it's going to take strong leaders in the House and Senate to get it done.
He does.
What's your response to that?
Well, my response is on two responses. Number one, I think the progressive movement in America probably constitutes, 35, 40% of the Democratic Party. And I absolutely believe that that movement deserves representation in the Biden cabinet. On a personal level, look, I am a very happy U.S. Senator from the great state of Vermont. If Democrats gain control of the Senate, I will be a chairman of a very important committee. So I'm content where I am. But I do believe that the progressive movement deserves strong representation and has earned a strong representation in the Biden cabinet so that we can go forward and fight for the needs of a working class and a middle class today that are really hurting.
Senator Sanders, appreciate your time.
Presidential aspirant Nikki Haley doing.
I hate that Ragnarok lobster guy.
The Ragnarok lobster guy?
Yeah, he's so dumb.
Which one's that dude? I don't know what you're talking about.
That fucking shitlib.
Which one?
This guy? Oh god, he sucks so bad.
I don't know, but what do you? I mean, they're really making that fucking case like if there is progressive.
He's the one who called the Girl Scout a slut. That one.
I don't know what you're talking about. I still don't know what you're talking about. No. Yeah, well, I mean, that whole shit that they're asking Bernie or that Biden keeps trying to push is that there's significant progressive representation in his administration as is. I mean,
yeah, I don't know who told him that.
Yeah, I mean, there's no basis to even make that claim. But who's the representation? Rahm Emanuel, Neera Tanden.
No, I think he thinks any minority, anybody of color is progressive.
Because right, they keep saying this whole thing about this is a progressive cabinet, and the only thing they keep going back to is this is the most diverse cabinet. Like if that's progressive, that's not.
I think that's the way he thinks. I literally think that's how his brain operates, or his whatever that party comes from. I think it's that, and I think because Because isn't Simone Sanders, didn't she used to work for Bernie?
Yeah, she did.
Yeah, I think he thinks that that counts too. Right?
I mean, there's nobody from that Bernie wing of the party invited into the cabinet, and then they're gonna use that whole we need the Senate numbers excuse in order to go ahead and say that this is why Bernie doesn't deserve to be in this or shouldn't be part of the cabinet, or this is why Elizabeth Warren shouldn't be Treasury Secretary. They're doing those same couple of things. And
I mean, he's not wrong.
Maybe with Warren, he has there's more of a point, but I don't know if they can get away with that saying that about Bernie's seat.
Yeah, no, I mean, if he said that about Bernie's seat, he's full of shit.
Yeah, and that's the argument that's already being planted.
Yeah, I mean, he's still not wrong. Like, yeah, I mean, it would be easier if he got somebody else, right? Like he is saying that. So as long as he has a good excuse, you saw the Democrats are, man. If they have an excuse that's plausible for why they don't have to do the good thing, the thing that's better for the country, that's better for the voters, that's like better for the party or any of that shit, then they take the excuse. Like their whole strategy is just do as little as possible that they can get away with, right? Like whatever shitty thing that they think they'll get called out for, they won't do. But if it's just something that they think they can have enough cover, because they have those fucking psychos online, the blue MAGA people, who will just cover for them no matter how terrible they are. It's sad, man. Like that's the problem. Like Bernie just said about going to Kentucky, about going to Mitch McConnell State.
Yeah.
He says that because
can we even name 10 to 15 real progressives in the Democratic Party? I don't know if I count anyone that sandbagged Bernie on Super Tuesday. No, I don't think you count anybody that did that either. You have the new members of the squad. You have
there's probably 8.
You have Ro maybe.
There's the Justice Democrats.
Pramila Jayapal.
There's the Justice Democrats, and then there's the squad. And there's like the two wings. There's the Justice Democrats, and then there's like the DSA candidates who are more like AOC, the squad, and Jamal Bowman and
Mondaire Jones,
and there's one more. Cori Bush.
Oh, right, Cori Bush. All right, how do we forget Cori Bush? She's freaking awesome. But they asked Kamala about this shit, too. Actually, they asked both of them on this thing about the progressive representation. So let me go ahead and play that clip over here.
Last month, Senator Bernie Sanders told the Associated Press it would be, quote, enormously insulting.
This was
if your cabinet, the Biden-Harris cabinet, ignored progressive voices. Who would you point to now as a leading progressive voice in the cabinet?
Well, we're not done yet, Jake, so we're not even halfway there. So I think that we should have this conversation when we're done. But
is another interview offer you're making? Because I'll take it.
Do you consider yourself a progressive?
No.
Department of Homeland Security.
Homeland Security?
Yeah. No, I'm serious.
He's a progressive.
Yeah.
What?
And there's a number of progressives that are.
Let's go back.
Progressives that are.
Progressive.
Yeah. No, Department of Homeland Security.
Department of Homeland Security.
Yeah. No, I'm serious.
Who was it again?
He's a progressive.
Yeah. And there's a number of progressives that are what I think people are saying is, a lot of people are saying, am I going to pick some very, very prominent
it's a Latino guy
and well-known progressive who sits in the House or the Senate right now? As close as everything is in terms of the House and the Senate, they are tough decisions to make. To pull somebody I'm going to badly need out of the Senate.
Is he a progressive, Matt?
Or have an appointment of somebody
I
who
really
is
doubt it.
a Democrat.
Why don't we look into him a little bit more right
I
now?
think people are going to see, not only at the cabinet level, but the sub-cabinet level, there's already people we've appointed, and we'll appoint many more. But it is not, again, I understand the push. I truly understand the push.
Oh, do you?
When you take office...
No, you don't. You just fucking said Alejandro Mayorkas is a progressive, so clearly you don't.
Right.
You
and
know,
what do you have about this dude, by the way? Let me see. Send me that Vox article.
Sent it to your DMs.
All right, let's check this. Let's check this dude out.
Yeah, no, I think that's right, Kiers. I think that's the way he thinks. Like, because not to say that that's the case, but I think that's probably the way most people thought before Obama.
Alejandro Mayorkas, former deputy secretary at DHS. Mayorkas is best known as the architect of the Deferred Action Childhood Arrivals, the DACA program, which shielded from deportation roughly 700,000 unauthorized immigrants that came to the U.S. as children. Mayorkas, who immigrated from Cuba as a child, previously served 7 years in the Obama administration, 40 years in the Senate confirmed as a Senate confirmed director of USCIS, and another 3 as a deputy secretary of Department of Homeland Security. As someone who's already knows the department, which is the 3rd largest agency after the Department of Defense and Department of Veterans Affairs, Mayorkas would be well positioned to hit the ground running. He'd also be the first Latino, as well as the first immigrant to lead the agency. Let's see what else they say about this. So, during a time when critics of government are on the lookout for inefficiency and incompetence, Mayorkas made DACA a model of government efficiency and seamless execution. Let's see what else they say. Well, I mean, he served under.
Maybe he's not that bad. I mean, I don't know. Like,
I don't know, but I mean, he
just
served
from that,
under
he could
administration.
be worse.
I mean, is that what it is? It's gonna end up being like. I mean, he served under the Obama administration during the time when where Obama was known as the deporter in chief, right?
Yeah, but if he's the creator of DACA, that's
right.
That's not terrible.
No,
doesn't mean he's progressive, but I mean he's I think it doesn't really matter. I think they're just going to do whatever they want to do anyway, right? It's not going to be like, even if they have like AOC in the cabinet, she's not going to be able to get away with doing, that's why I wanted Warren to be in there, right? 'Cause it would have been funny, because I thought, maybe she'll do something good. And if not, she'll at least we'll get to laugh at her, like having to defend like these ridiculous giveaways to the bankers, just having her be like, it's actually very progressive that we're giving all these bankers their bonuses. Like, this is the most progressive thing we can do.
After she made her after she based her whole political career on taking bankers to task and putting a foot up their ass to be,
bankers' lives matter, Tony.
Yeah, there you go.
I wonder. I always think about her, like, I don't always think about her, but once in a while I think about, like, do you think she has any regrets? Like
what, as far as selling Bernie out?
Yeah, and just the whole thing. Like, I don't think she'd ever admit it, but I'd really like to, like, get her to admit that in a moment of truth. Like, do you think, like, if you had not sold him out, just like not done, even if she had done the, like, Bernie's a sexist,
right?
He could have gotten past that if she had dropped out. I still think the reason he didn't win is because what Trump says, because she stayed in at the end there.
Well, yeah, I think that made a giant difference. I mean, even if
exactly,
you have to think that a significant percentage of those Warren voters would have gravitated more towards Bernie than Biden, right?
I think
the same way
would have been half of them.
Yeah,
I think half of them would have gone to Bernie, and then the other half would have split between Biden and Bloomberg.
Yeah,
or whoever else was still in it. I can't remember if there's anybody else possible.
Well, let me see. I got this about Mayorkas. Let me.
If she hadn't done that,
this one that I saw.
But I wonder if she would have thought, like, maybe if she had endorsed him, because, like, she lost a lot of credibility.
Right.
Not endorsing him. Like, she could have
she did.
Made up a lot of her credibility could have been repaired if she had endorsed Bernie when she did drop out.
Yeah.
So that was kind of a pointless, because, like, Biden wasn't going to reward her anyway. And now that we saw that he didn't reward her, she could have at least maintained her credibility with the progressives if she had endorsed Bernie when she dropped out. It's just like no excuse for her not to endorse Bernie, like.
Absolutely. But let's see. So Apparently, with Mayorkas, he is not a Latino. Even he was born in Cuba. His mother is from Romania, and his father is from Europe too.
Oh shit!
Wow.
So he's like doing brown face.
Well, that's one way to say it.
I mean,
yeah, and it's
why
hard
does
to
Biden
go
think
ahead
he's
and
progressive?
Huh? I mean, I don't know. That's what I'm trying to go ahead and see. I mean, other than like the DACA thing that you mentioned.
Yeah. Biden didn't even know the guy's name either.
Right. I didn't even pick up on that when they were asking about, who's a progressive.
Yeah.
I mean, he was like, yeah, the guy.
Yeah, the Mexican at DHS.
God.
I think yeah, like I said, I mean, it's better than Obama though. I think it was like Dave Weigel or someone tweeted it this morning. Like in 2008, Obama was picking all these people, and everybody was just kind of like, well, I guess Timothy Geithner's progressive, like all those Wall Street guys, and people just kind of were like shrugged their shoulders, like, oh, well, like Obama's cool, like, he's not going to screw us, so I guess these people are better than I thought. And we didn't, like, most people didn't admit how terrible Obama was until his second term, at least a few years into the first term. So he was picking all these like absolute goals for his thing, and everyone just kind of ignored it. At least now we're pressuring them to not pick the worst of the worst. Like I said, it's already, the reaction, like the pushback is already a lot better than it was in 2008. Just like, I don't know how much it's going to change anything, but they're at least like responding to the pressure. People are asking questions about it, like fucking, what's his face? Tapper would never have asked that
before. No, you wouldn't have. That wouldn't have been a question. That wouldn't have been a thing to actually go ahead and check up on, as far as, because when you look at who we mentioned earlier, who we do consider progressive and what they were doing to try and get Biden elected, I mean, it's not really a thing you can argue that there's not a seat at the table, or there shouldn't be a seat at the table for the left in Biden's cabinet.
Like Bernie said, 30%.
Yes, exactly.
Was there more of that clip? Was that all of it?
No, that was all.
Yeah. Do we have to run ads?
I don't know. I'm not sure if we have to run ads, but I mean, does that mean that we get?
Well, yeah, it says there's a thing on the stream manager, run 60-second ad break. And I'm looking in the thing, and it looks like
we're gonna have to figure out a way to. I mean, we're gonna have to figure out a way to calibrate all of that stuff. But I mean, that's the way. I don't know. We'll figure out all that stuff, bro.
Should we try one? See what happens.
All right, yeah. See what happens. All right, we're testing stuff.
Sorry, guys. We'll see how it looks.
All right. Did it do anything? I don't know. I don't know if it did anything.
I don't know what it looks like on y'all's screen.
Right, but I mean, wait a minute. If they isn't there a way around ads though if you're sub to it or something like that?
Yeah, if you sub to it, you don't have to watch the ads.
Right.
And I think you can put up an ad blocker anyway.
Yeah, so I mean we can't do like any cringy shit while we're supposed to be on like an ad break.
What do you mean? Oh yeah. It's not like a real ad break. Do like a Tubin.
I'm just saying.
I'm cosplaying as Jeffrey Tubin.
Right. But look, we need to. You know what? Let's talk about the Pac-Man thing. Yeah. Okay. He didn't. Right. Yeah. See, Gers didn't see anything. Yeah. All right. Well, we'll keep messing with it.
Twitch. Yep. You owe us for trying.
Yes.
Twitch.
Absolutely.
Bezos. You better pay us.
All right. So let's do that Pac-Man story because I want to get that one out the way because we're still getting like random comments on that thing, even like 2 months later now. There was that segment that we did where David Pakman pushed this whole Apollo cryptocurrency from a group called Apollo FinTech. It's for a GSX. It's supposed to be a stable coin. It's a gold-backed cryptocurrency or whatever it is. And he had this video posted, and it was up there for a while. We were checking through, or I kept going periodically back to see if he just kept leaving this thing on. And we actually kept, but for some reason we kept getting comments about it. And like I had said before when we last updated this whole thing, it went from being about Pac-Man and taking a shot about kind of taking a shot or being critical of David Pac-Man to having all these Apollo FinTech fanboys coming out of the woodwork and saying all kinds of bullshit about, we don't know what we're talking about, or all the, the funniest one, or one of the funniest ones was the recent one that we got, where this dude linked us to some kind of audit, I guess, that they passed with regards to a certain feature that is on that currency, and the link shows that coin is still worth like a fraction of a cent, and the company that apparently does the audit is like some, I mean, it's like not for nothing else, but it has like 600 followers on Twitter, and it seems like somebody they could easily pay off to go ahead and say, yeah, everything's above board. But yeah, when we look back into the whole Pac-Man aspect of it, though, there was when he did his video, the Apollo FinTech account actually went ahead and tweeted that video out. So here we go. Here's another big mention from GSX for GSX from David Pakman's show. In case you missed it, watch it here. So APL, GSX, Asset Back, David Pakman show. And then now, let's see what happens when we click on it now. Oh, it's unavailable, bro.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. You heard it. We pressured Pac-Man into taking his video down. Just us.
Yeah, I'm not sure exactly what happened. If he was on the original video, he had a bunch of downvotes from people that knew that the shady history behind Apollo FinTech, and he had a bunch of people in the comments that were calling out the same thing. Apollo FinTech with their scammy, they pump and dump, all that same shit. So I'm not sure what exactly led to him going back and reconsidering having that ad up or that segment up, but I mean, he went ahead and did it. And what we had speculated at the time was, hey, maybe he just didn't look into what these people were doing, or maybe he didn't know enough about the coin, or maybe it's just some kind of oversight that we're all capable of making.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that he took it down makes me think he wasn't complicit, although, right. I mean, that's not really any evidence of that, because he still would have taken it down, right? Yeah. If he got pressure from fans whatsoever, if he got any kind of pushback, and he had already, done his contractual obligation, he would have taken it down, I'm sure he's not making a whole lot of revenue off like his old YouTube videos.
I mean, you periodically you'll get views and you'll get
yeah, but it's like a few cents and all that damage to his rep.
Right, but I think that's what he's factoring in is damage to his rep, because what we said in the original when we originally went over this was, why is David Pakman letting his credibility that he has? I mean, because let's face it, he's pretty influential in lefty YouTuber circles when it comes
liberal
to
YouTuber.
Yeah, like he has what do you call it? He's like what does he have, like over 1 million subscribers?
Yeah, liberals.
Yeah, whoever it is, he has influence over a bunch of people, or at least when it comes to informing people, right? And why is he gonna go ahead and put what reputation he has out on the line for this company that has a shady history and by all performances, if you look at that, if you look at how the coin has gone over the last years, it's not something you want to go ahead and stake and it's not a hill to die on for him, right?
Well, I mean, I'm sure he doesn't see it like that. It's just like, people were like, hit him up like, hey man, I want to do some ads on your show.
Right.
And he probably like Googles them, and if he doesn't see anything, like extremely like troublesome, he says sure, does the ad.
Yeah.
Like I know, like I heard him before talk about getting pushback from previous ads that he ran. Like
right, and and I was looking for something like that too, where he would talk about, hey, well, I had to pull that down. I looked into them a little bit more, and it's not something that he does this periodically, where he runs an ad for somebody who just kind of immediately regrets it.
Yeah, I used to listen to him on Tuesday nights because he's on the AM radio station here. So like, I had to take my kid to Girl Scouts, and I'd listen to Pac-Man on the way home. And I remember one time I heard him doing some shit where he was like going through all the different stocks he owned. Like,
really?
Just because people were calling him a shill, like you're pushing the companies that you have investments in, and they were like, you talk about Tesla all the time because you own Tesla stock, and he was like trying to debunk that, but he sounds like he puts a lot of thought into his professional financial, like more thought than like, say the senator from Georgia does, like he's got more of a conflict of interest check than that. So I think, I don't know, the other option is he was complicit. Like he knew what he was doing.
What? Well,
like,
okay, because
it looks like he did pump the value up.
Well,
right?
yeah, I mean that was one thing that we looked at. Remember, we were looking at the what do you call it, the market cap for APL right around the time that he had done that video, right?
Mm-hmm.
And let me see if I can go ahead and pull this right up. Let's go.
The whole time we stream, I'm just like going through a cycle of like eating some peanuts, like sucking on my vape, using the toothpick, having a mint, and then just constantly like putting something in my mouth or near my mouth. Like,
well, we got in trouble for that too when they thought you were being unsympathetic when we played the nurse video.
Yeah, because I was eating pretzels.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you heartless pretzel eating bastard.
I'm just a mature individual who doesn't like, I can walk and chew gum at the same time.
Well, okay, so check this out. So
we should do. Speaking of, I remember, we should do more stories about the post left. We should do more stories making fun of Amy Trees.
So this is APL's history, going back for a year. You can see like the highest it spiked up was when it was worth. Let's see, where is it? Well, there we go. 0.001 cents for a little bit there back in February. When Pac-Man's video came out, it was about the 24th or 25th of October. And then, yep, there you go. Look,
wow.
Check it out. 25th of October. It spiked back up.
Holy shit.
Look at that. You can see right here is when the Pac-Man video dropped.
Oh, wait a minute.
24th.
Which is it, the second spike or the third spike?
This whole chain of spikes. That was when the video came out. It was right around here.
Pump and dump.
And then
pump and dump Pac-Man.
And then and then by the end of it, I mean, now you can see where the coin is down here by 0.0006. So
pump and dump Pac-Man.
Yeah.
Pump and dump. Pump and dump. I don't know. I mean, we should pretend that that's what happened.
What, that he that he purposely went and did a pump and dump?
Yeah. Yeah.
Look, I mean, I would say that
he'd probably call us like the Range Bernie or Busters. What does he call? He's got all kinds of like condescending nicknames for like actual leftists.
What he does?
Yeah. He calls us what did he was like? I haven't listened to him since like before the primary, like at least a year. But like,
you know,
I remember he would say like the revolutionary left. Like, if you want to distinguish, like, 'cause I just call the left, and I call liberals liberals, and I call Democrats Democrats.
Well, I guess if you're a liberal, then you go ahead and call the revolutionary left. Makes a little bit more sense for you, right?
I mean, I guess I would call them. I would say like the socialist left or the anti-capitalist left.
Maybe.
I feel like it's probably more descriptive.
Yeah, I really like. I
don't necessarily think
when he came out. I mean, you know, the criticisms that he got in this whole argument with Kyle over Medicare for all. You know, and he did these segments bashing it, kind of, and at that point was where I kind of stepped away from watching his content as much.
You can just tell that he is like the liberal arguments work on him, like the stuff about like, oh, we're never going to be able to get it passed. Like, how are you going to get that through with Mitch McConnell? And like Bernie's style has always been, oh yeah, we'll do that next, Gears.
Oh, do you want to do that?
Bernie's style has always been, you know, like inside-outside game, right? Like people on the street, pressure them, and then I work my magic inside, right? Like that was his goal. Pac-Man is much more in line with like the liberals who were like, you need to make a deal with Mitch McConnell, and you need to trade off, and you need to, you know, do X, Y, and Z and build a coalition, and that's how you get shit passed, right?
Yeah, I mean, like,
which was never going to work. Like I said, they're not going to make any deals with the left.
No.
The only way they're going to do it is if you're absolutely forced to do it. Like, all of them have to be forced, like one at a time if necessary.
Right. I mean, there was since you brought up the shirt thing, there was a few of these.
Whoa, we're not done with Pac-Man yet.
Okay, we're not done with Pac-Man yet. All right, we'll talk about. Okay, what else do you have to say about
Tony
Pac-Man?
wants to start a feud.
You want to start? I want to start a feud.
Yeah, we need to get more clicks, so we need to like start feuding with somebody. So.
Look, all I kept saying is that, you know, when we've got to go and look over some of them Vosh vids, you know, it seems like you take some kind of offense to some of the stuff that he says.
Yeah, but he's not nearly like I have much more like it'd be a lot easier to dunk on Pac-Man is what I'm saying. I agree with Vosh on a lot. Pac-Man, I agree with him on a lot less, and he's so cringe. Like come on. Yeah. Such a twerp. Yeah, see?
You rather start? Yeah. Okay, who would Gears? Who would you rather kind of start a feud with?
Plus, we can call into Pac-Man's show.
Oh, we can call.
I love Kushbomb, man.
Kushbomb.
Yeah, dude. I'm a Kushbomb acolyte.
Yep.
I say the post left, right? Like those people who are like it's actually like. Only like, you know, a true socialist votes for Trump, like those psychos, or somebody like liberal like Pac-Man, like it's like it's just like it wouldn't be fun to feud with somebody like Vosh, right? Like he's you know, like if he does dumb shit, it's easy to make fun of, but like
swing for the fences.
Yeah, I think we gotta do Pac-Man or who else? Maybe we could. I mean, Jimmy Dore is probably. I don't want to fuck with him.
No.
How about like Nico? We could start some shit with him.
Well, we he follows us on our show account. Yeah, he does.
I mean,
like,
know what his deal is.
No, Nico's whole thing was just being too much of a Tulsi stan.
I don't know, but isn't he doing that documentary now with all those far right wingers? Like
about Tulsi?
I saw some shit. They're doing some sort of thing. Yeah, see.
There you go. Definitely go for Pac-Man. I'd love to see you do some Vosh slander, but Pac-Man isn't easy. Well, look at the only thing I'll say. Look at this one thing. Look at for Pac-Man. What always kind of annoyed me a little bit is how he just when they would ask, "Hey, did you catch this from Rising or from Kyle when he said this, and this, and this?"
Yeah.
And then he always does the same thing, like, shit. "Oh, I don't see any of my fellow peers' videos. I just spend all my time reading." I'm like,
yeah.
I mean, like,
yeah, no,
he's
he's so full of shit too.
Like for me, I never fucking bought it.
Yeah, exactly.
Like no, I mean, none of my I'm a close friend of Kyle, but I never seen any of his stuff. No, I never see any of those TYT videos. Those just never. You know, like I spend all my time. Like, what are you talking about? Like, I mean, if you're boys with any of these people, or you know these are your acquaintances, you spend your time on Twitter or any of that kind of shit. I mean, of course you look at their shit. So why? I mean, it seems like such a stupid thing to kind of come out of against. That like, yeah, I don't look at anybody else's stuff.
Yeah, I say, yeah. I mean, I think we can do a nice feud with Pac-Man, and we can like make it a recurring thing because he says so much cringe shit every week. And like, he makes his stuff, he cuts his stuff up into those nice, easy segments.
Oh,
you know,
yeah,
so you can you can like look at it, the title, and then kind of like skip forward and just find shit to.
Hold on, give me a second.
What? You can just like go through and see like what the topic is, and you can kind of gauge how cringe it'll be based on that. And then like, you know, Vosh does some videos, but like he doesn't splice his shit up enough to really, you know, go in on. I mean, those guys, it would be pretty easy to start some shit with some of those BreadTube guys, because
the BreadTube guys,
I mean, just from what I've seen, they're incredibly like hyper focused on internal dynamics, you know, like debate board, like online, like mega ultra online.
Is that like a, you know, when you bring out all this like podcaster lingo, I have to ask you if you coin these terms.
No.
No?
If I
Debate
coin
Lord?
it, I'll tell you.
All right, Debate Lord is not yours?
No. I heard a lot of people use that. I think, yeah, but like, I don't want to have to go through too much content. Like, I don't want to hate listen to too much content. You know, I don't want to like follow too many people. Like, I feel like most of those other people, if I have to watch like a 25-minute video about like Charlie Kirk is freaked out about Elliot Page.
Well, otherwise, I would go through a bunch of that Dave Rubin shit, because I mean, he does plenty of shit to go ahead and rip him over.
But that's not like, you can't have a feud with Dave Rubin. You can make fun of him.
Yes,
but
you
like,
can rip on. Like,
if you want to like
engage
back and forth. Yeah, exactly. Like, we can make videos dunking on Tim Pool, which I still think we should do. But actually to go back and forth with somebody, like, it's got to be Pac-Man. He's perfect, and he's such like, he's such like like, he plays everything like real straight. He's like, oh, you think that I'm a neoliberal shill? Huh? That's interesting. Like. Like, he's a good sport.
I mean, I saw him tweeting out some shit today. Actually, it was pretty funny.
All he tweets about is Trump. I was looking through his feed last night to find some dumb takes.
Right.
All he does is tweet about Trump.
I was trying to find anything that he was saying about the coin when I was trying to look for an update for this shit. But, so look at this one. Super interesting that hate mail now lumps me in with Fox as an insult. Trump's attacks on Fox have clearly convinced many of his supporters. It's like, you're a fucking disgrace to this country. Fake news. Go out and get facts. You sound like CNN, MSNBC, Fox failure. Stop biting off of mainstream fake news just to get views. You're part of the reason this country is so divided.
Who said that to him?
Some hate mail person.
Oh, yeah. He's got like, like
Chud's. I love when he decides to go and devote like whole ass segments to somebody just ripping on him.
Yeah, exactly. Because it's like he plays it very cool. Like, he plays it like he's just like, it's all so amusing to him.
Right.
But I feel like you can tell that it gets under his skin because he does so much content about it. Ooh, what if we did? I don't know, I've got to find out more of these YouTube guys.
Yeah.
I was going to say, like, what if we did to Progressive Voice what he does to other people?
Oh, what look at the thing that PV does, and look, I've what do you call it? Subscribed to his stream and all that stuff. So I'm not like, I think for for what he does and everything, I find him entertaining, whatever it is, right? But man, every other week or twice a week in some cases, you'll see a video on there that just says so and so's fans turn on him.
Yeah.
I mean, he does that like, okay, Cenk Uger's fans turn on him, David Pakman's fans turn on him, Joe Rogan's fan. I mean, every fucking week you see a video like that. I mean, I don't know if that works, or if he just has a large enough audience that he's gonna get clicks on that shit regardless. But
yeah,
I mean, it just seems a little redundant at some point or another.
American taxpayers spend $107.575 billion, 107.5 billion more on police than public housing. Yeah, that's the problem. Like,
what are you talking
that's
about?
why people get it. Did you see that that LA Valley tweet?
No.
Or his new piece? I retweeted it from the show account. It's fucking awesome. Put it up.
Where is it? Did you bookmark it?
I retweeted it from the show account.
You gotta bookmark this stuff. What, the cartoon? Oh, yeah, that one I caught that.
Man. Oh god, it's such a good piece.
There we go. When Barack Obama met Frederick Douglass. So power concedes nothing without a demand. Couple of notes on your phrasing.
On your phrasing.
You lose a big audience the minute you say demand. Just spitballing here, but how about power concedes nothing without a suggestion offered in the gentlest spirit of compromise that change we can believe in order and will emerge over the course of multiple generations because we can.
Yeah, I feel like.
Wow.
I mean, like I said, I don't know how much effect it'll have, but I feel like the left has won every argument we've had with them since the election, right? They tried to say like, oh, it's your fault we lost, and we were like, that's actually not true, and we debunked that, and now people don't say that anymore, right? Because we won that argument. The fucking View backed us up, right?
Right.
And now people have been trying to move the goalposts to be like, oh, well, it's not popular as it should be, like it's not activating our base in in like inner city neighborhoods or whatever. So now the debate has been about like, is it effective at conveying a message, or is it, it's not that it's turning people away, it's that is it good enough or whatever. So I think so far we're winning that debate too, because Obama said that shit, and then
but I mean, look, we got to think about it
the other night because people were dunking on him.
Yeah, but I mean, we got to think about it too. It's ridiculous to the point where you had Obama still when Kaepernick was kneeling, right? That was a problem for him, and the people that defund the police that find it problematic now, or bad messaging is what they're trying to come out and say about it. They're the same people that had a problem with Kaepernick kneeling. Like I had tagged this, or I bookmarked this tweet from Jamal Hill, actually, that kind of laid it out here.
There was a new survey from Monmouth University that found 77% of American adults say that defund the police means to change the way the police department operate, not to eliminate them. That view is shared by 73% of white, non-college educated Americans and 2/3 of Republicans, Trump's core voters. Just 18% of Americans say the movement wants to get rid of police departments, a view shared by only 28% of Republicans and 18% of independents. So that's pretty definitive, right?
Yeah. Well, look what Jamal Hill said. So I'm old enough to remember calling Kaepernick, explaining exactly why he was protesting, only to see his message sabotaged by performative patriotism. Bad slogans, messaging isn't the problem. There will never be a nice way to sell progress to people who don't actually want it.
The reason they don't want it is because the messaging it's because it's so muddled from the top, right? Like, it's the same way that, like, the reason people hate Democrats is not because of AOC.
Right.
It's because of Nancy Pelosi. Right?
Yeah.
Like,
well, did you see that Pelosi clip that came out today?
Yeah. I did a good dunk on her earlier. I don't know if you saw that one.
Is this the one that you dunked on her for?
Yeah, for some reason, she reminds me of Wimpy.
Wimpy?
I will trade you what did I say? What's this? Oh, I'll pay you for a cheeseburger. Gladly pay you Tuesday for a hamburger today.
Well, let me play the clip. All right, let's go, Pelosi.
So Cuomo says he would have insisted on state funding in the last bill. And now Senator McConnell is saying he wants to push the pause button. Was this a tactical mistake by you and Senator Schumer?
Just calm down. We will have state and local, and we will have it in a very significant way. It's no use going on to what might have been. The administration never even wanted to do. Let me recap this for you. When we said we're not doing 250 unless you open the door for these lower unbanked, we call them unbanked businesses who don't have a fancy banking relationship or this or that, Senator McConnell said absolutely no. We're not doing one penny more than 250.
So Cuomo.
You said that one was old though?
Yes, Queen. Yeah, it was from the spring. It was from right after they passed the CARES Act. Right?
Oh, okay.
And that was a decent question from Tapper saying, hey, like, you gave away all your leverage. Why are the Republicans going to negotiate with you now that they already got what they want?
Yeah. So see, gladly pay you Tuesday for a hamburger today. Yeah.
Doesn't she has big wimpy energy. Like, just like low-key total scumbag who's desperate.
Yeah.
You know? That's like, people have to wake up. That's why I didn't get to this point earlier. I started talking about it and never finished. The shit libs have got to stop yes queening them, right? Like, that's how you get change. They have to feel pressure from their voters, right?
Okay.
They have to feel disappointment and like energy. I think that's what Bernie said, right? Like, that's the thing is they have to know you're disappointed in them. They have to, like Rand Paul walking down the street and a mob forming around him, you know, like that's the kind of thing. I'm not saying you have to like get up in their face and yell at them when they're at brunch, but you probably should anyway. But like, they need to see, instead of having 10,000 likes when they say like some bland, you know, whatever. What's a standard like liberal tweet like we will protect the woman's right to choose or something, you know. Like, instead of having like 10,000 likes and retweets for something like that, they need to have 3, and they need to have mostly angry replies being like, you suck, I'm fucking desperate, where's my check, like, you know, you're not feeding me, whatever. Like, they need to feel the pressure. That's like Schumer, right? Like, Schumer feels the pressure from
but I mean
AOC, right?
Yeah, I mean for taking his seat, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of different, but it's the same sort of idea, right? Like, you do good things for your base when they are mad at you, but if they have this mob of idiots online who will just like yes queen everything they do with no standards.
Tell me you saw that tweet with that shit earlier, right? The Biden-Harris hats.
Oh yeah.
So check this out, guys. Look at this. You made America great already by firing and evicting Trump from our White House. Get your Biden blue MAGA hat now. Biden made America great already because he is sending Trump to prison. Hats are on Amazon, and they co-opted the Yang symbol too. Damn. 45 transition to prison. I mean, you know, we call them blue MAGA, and then they just play right into this shit. Yeah, I don't understand. And yeah, I think Nick's comment was pretty on point here. So this can't be real. We live in a simulated reality.
No, because you see the one I tweeted, like I retweeted, like.
Let's see. Gears.
We knew this was coming.
Here. See, why is our country so bad at applying pressure? Well, I mean, because there's no solidarity. There's no solidarity.
No, because it's the generational divide, right? It's
now it's a generational divide. Yeah, now it's a generational divide.
Older people who are largely set, they don't feel the pressure. They don't have this like uphill, just ever multiplying problems. They have jobs. They went to college before it was it was expensive when Gen Xers went to college, but it wasn't like it is now, right?
No, it wasn't ridiculous at that point. It wasn't as bad. It wasn't nearly as bad. No.
And if you got laid off in 2008, like you still had some sort of structured, like what's it called? When you get fired, you get starts with an S.
What?
When you get laid off, you get something called starts with an S. What's that called?
A severance?
Severance. You get severance package, and you have, like some stuff taken care of, and you had health care. So people who were like 10 years older than us, they have a much better setup than we do. And then, like, they just don't feel it as, like, they don't feel the reaper's breath on their neck as much as people our age, I think. Like,
no.
Just, we graduated into 2008 with, like, like millennials had the collapse in our like rate and entering the world, right?
Yeah, I was still in school. I was still in school by the time that the collapse happened, right? But I mean, imagine for people that just got out of college, just got their degree, got about to set out on the workforce, and then total financial collapse of the world, and transition over to a gig economy.
And then a lot of our parents lost their house and stuff. Right. 2008. You know what I mean? So like they have a lot of not just going to be any family wealth. And then like are just kind of left everybody out to dry.
Not just the houses. I mean, you're talking about like pensions, retirements, all that kind of shit that just evaporated overnight for a lot of people. But and
then we have that no opportunities plus mountains of debt from school, like and then no health care and like no opportunities, and there's no positive trend. There's nothing that's like, oh, this is going to lead to opportunities. There's nothing like that. There's no sort of thing that you can point to and say, because X, Y, and Z happened, we think there's going to be good jobs coming available in this industry, or this, we think it's going to improve here because the government's doing this, or the free market is functioning as advertised and it's creating opportunity. That's not happening anywhere. Everything's just getting worse and worse and worse. And like I think older people are just kind of like, even if they do understand that there's problems, they don't care enough. They think that they'll be able to make it to retirement, right? They don't care enough to like agitate for change. And then like they're all, like the people who are active online are typically like more well-to-do, right? So they're older and they're better off, and you don't hear from a lot of the working class people who are suffering because they've given up on politics already. Yeah. So it's like we're the only ones who feel like who are, like knowledgeable and motivated enough to actually like yell and scream about it all day, every day. So like, like, and then we have fucking people like Obama telling us to, pull our pants up and stop saying defund the police. And, like, I keep saying it, like, maybe they'll do some shit. Like Biden has the opportunity to he has the opportunity to make good on what Obama should have done in 2010. Like he had a mandate, he had landslide victory, and then he had that economic collapse, the whole Wall Street imploding, the whole housing market thing. He had the opportunity to set a marker and do a new deal. Like he had the opportunity and he didn't do it. And now Biden has another opportunity, and it's going to be tougher without the Senate, but like he's still, you would say, I think there's
a significant amount of things you can get done with him with executive action.
Oh yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. He needs to do it though and not be a pussy. Like, and I think I would argue that there's more of a mandate for change, right? Because even though he didn't win like by a shitload and he didn't take the Senate, the people who voted for Trump didn't vote for Trump because they wanted him to do more of the same. They voted for Trump because they thought that he was going to change shit. Like the people who weren't really paying attention to his first term, they were still, a lot of them are probably still holding on to those broken promises from before. So like I would say that most of the people voted for change, whether they know it or not. That's what I'm saying. I don't know. Like he could and he should, but I think he's too big of a pussy. But like, maybe the problems will be so, because I think they already are so glaringly obvious what something needs to be done, but the whole fucking media just obscures it and makes it seem like, you know, same old, same old. We just need some, you know, more neoliberal tweaking. They let the Republicans continue to go out there and pretend like nothing's wrong at all.
But you know, it doesn't help when you still have Obama lingering over the party and trying to go ahead and still dictate the direction of it. Yeah. And I mean, I don't know, you know, I don't know what his strategy is when it comes to AOC. But he keeps kind of with what he said last time about giving her more speaking time. It's kind of like he's trying to tie himself to her in a way, right? Like, you know, because he has to kind of feel the political wind shifting in a certain way.
I know, but the thing is about them not caring is it's objectively bad, though, right? Mm-hmm. Like, it's bad. Like, the stock market's only staying up because they're pumping the liquidity into it and they're buying junk bonds from all these companies. Like, they either have to continue doing that, which I'm pretty sure the way the CARES Act was written, that stuff auto-renews. Like, none of the stuff for people auto-renews, but the stuff for corporations, that stuff auto-renews. So I don't know if he'll have to do new legislation to continue boosting the stock market, but he is, you know, going to do that. It's only a matter of time, though. I don't know what the rest of the world thinks. Like, if I was a competitor nation, or if I was any other nation, I would be increasingly like aggravated with the way that we're, you know, propping up the stock market like that, because it's not, those aren't real valuations. Like, Uber's not worth all that money. It's never made a nickel of profit, you know. None of these companies are, but they have so much tied up into them, so much like investment and capital startup in them, that it's just, you know, giant chunks of the economy would go completely erased if they admitted the true valuation of it. And that's what happened with WeWork, right? Yeah. Like, WeWork, they kind of like admitted it was a bubble and continued to prop it up anyway, right? It's like, none of this shit is long-term stable. So, and they're also going to have to do something about this giant chunk of the country that's going to be out of work. Like, I don't know, you know, it's just like, Biden should do a Green New Deal, right? There's no other, you know, or infrastructure at least, like, tie that all into it. Like, I think as the president, you don't necessarily need Congress to do, you know, infrastructure updates, right? You need spending bills, but like, you can, I feel like you have more flexibility to do that. It's just that they're so terrified to do anything, you know, messaging wise. They're so scared. Like, when Republicans go on TV and say mean things about them, they change their tune right away. So that's the thing they need to get past. I mean, I think, you know, the worse shit gets, you know, the longer those bread lines get, like, I think the more inclined they'll be to just say fuck it and take the power. But you know, your guess is as good as mine. I mean, I'm not hopeful, but I think anybody who is a smart politician would do some good shit, you know. Like, no one ever said these guys are smart, though. Did you see that Marsha Blackburn thing?
No.
About to China? Oh, God.
Well, I wanted to show you the whole AOC merch thing that the Republicans were freaking over.
I mean,
because there was a couple of things. Because like the new thing now that they were kind of, that they're, you know, you saw it from Joe Manchin, and then you see the Republicans kind of picked up on it too. With
what, defund my butt?
No, all that AOC does is tweet. She didn't do anything. She didn't work. She just tweets.
Yeah, they're trying to make it seem like they're trying to excuse why they're bad at social media.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, like, why they're bad at policy
that's what I thought
and social media.
Right, that's what I thought too. But so AOC released some merch, or at least a line of merch over here. So this was there you go. This tweet that I found out here about everyone. AOC is selling the Tax the Rich sweatshirt for $58. It's way too expensive. So me, a former mass market apparel designer, made in America, union printed, sounds about right. That's what it costs to pay everyone a decent wage along the way. So yeah, the sweatshirt was $58, and then here we go. So AOC had this to say about it: was Republicans are freaking out because we don't use slave wage labor for merch that funds grassroots organizing. But what's the difference between Trump's merch and ours? Ours is made in the U.S. And for the GOP who joke that we should give shirts away for free, we actually do. Just volunteer.
Mm-hmm.
So there was then what do you call it? Ben Shapiro went ahead and weighed in on this a couple of times. There was this string of tweets that I wanted to show here. Here we go. So here's Ben Shapiro. He was kind of triggered by this cancel student debt shirt. So for $27, you can buy AOC's bullshit T-shirt rather than spending it paying off loans you voluntarily took. Fucking asshole, man. And here we go. I can never say his name right. Anand, right? Anand Jurahardas. Come help me out with this. But
Jurgadaris, I think.
Yeah, there we go. Well, he had this replied and says, yes, exactly. You can help advocate for a political solution to a political problem instead of burying it alone. And it said, no, you're still burying it alone since you'll be paying down that student debt. You'll just be $27 poorer, and AOC's war chest will be $27 richer.
I mean, this is after he tweeted about the way the shirts are made.
This was good,
like,
though.
He's just so disingenuous.
This was good, though. Look, check this out. I don't mind a real exchange with a conservative, but do send a smarter one my way.
Yeah. Like, I'm saying, he sounds like a moron lately, because it's like the arguments he's being forced to make are so bad because his position is untenable, like his position being like the tough guy conservative is just increasingly psychotic.
Yeah, see this was my thought too. Yeah, I'm buying something. I don't know what it is yet, but I'll figure it out. Buy an AOC cancel student debt shirt. Go buy that Vanity Fair magazine just because.
Well, I was arguing with somebody on Reddit today. I posted it to our sub. But it was about he was talking like, I mean, I guess we have to break it up.
But just to go ahead and state the obvious about this though. So the cost of a sweater is 0.09% of the average student loan debt.
Yeah, it's not like that's not you need clothes are a necessity. They're considered a necessity by everyone, right? That's not something that you can go without. Like all of the financial paperwork, like when you apply for food stamps, that's what it's, clothes are factored into it, right? Like
yes,
poor people have clothes, like that's not a thing that you can say, oh, you don't need shirts,
right.
And I don't know, I'll bet you that asshole hasn't worn a shirt that was less than $27
exactly
probably in years,
Yeah, well, and then see, I had this one from Bo, the fifth column. See, Republicans, only rich people will be able to afford AOC's tax the rich sweatshirts. What a dummy. Assume that's true. It's sold out. If those will end up being more in tax to support her policies, then why do you care more about their taxes than they do? Yep, so there you go.
Yeah.
AOC shirts sold out. Email when available. Yeah.
Dude, the Marsha Blackburn thing is funny. Let me see if I can find some more replies to that. Did I retweet any replies to that this morning? Because there were some good ones. Did I?
Well, let me.
Did you see Maddie Iglesias was on Rogan?
Oh yeah, I caught that. You see, I legitimately sell $400 sweaters daily, so my views may be skewed, but this is a dumb thing to get mad about. Well, I mean, the other thing that they were getting, I guess Marco Rubio signed up to be the next one out there to get his ass handed to him on social media. But here we go. So AOC pointed out this thing about the PPP loans. So black-owned small businesses were widely shut out from accessing the PPP loans, yet right-wing disinformation organization Project Veritas took $500,000 in public money while decrying direct federal assistance as radical socialism, republicanism in a nutshell. To which Marco Rubio had this to go ahead and weigh in. Working together, Republicans and Democrats helped save the jobs of 55 million Americans through PPP. Work more, tweet less, and one day you too can make a difference. And of course,
What does he mean?
AOC had this lined up for him though. Yesterday, I recruited 5,000 volunteers to train and tutor kids in my community who are struggling with remote learning, and that was after investigating the Treasury Secretary's rationale for stopping the CARES Act funding and voting on House legislation. What did you do?
Nothing. Not a goddamn thing. Made some donor calls.
Yeah, this was a good one. Tweeted a Bible verse and then spent the rest of the day doing the complete opposite of Jesus' life and teaching, same as always.
Who said that?
Let's see what, I don't know who it is. John Pavlovich?
Oh.
Yeah.
Just like I said, to the extent that that works at all, it's because they're speaking to that older crowd that we were just talking about, right?
Right.
That people who are largely taken care of, live in the suburbs, they don't see the plight of regular people, and that's on purpose, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's who they're trying to appeal to. Like, the people in power want to just ignore 50% of the country, right? Like,
right.
They only want to pretend like the America is just that slice, the younger people who have, inherited and gotten ahead through, hard work and determination, and this older crowd of, boomers and whatever, some younger, but just the ones who are who have steady jobs and will be taken care of. I know that there's probably a name for that. Like, there's probably like data they know exactly who those people are, like who's in line to get, like who has like a retirement fund, basically, right? And that they want to just pretend that everybody else is just going to go away, and they don't really care what happens to those people, us, like, or me at least. I mean, you're probably going to be rich soon, so
what?
You'll be fine. You're a homeowner.
What do you mean me?
Just got your new house, bro.
Yeah, I got lucky though. The only reason I was able to go. Well, we're gonna go ahead and. Well,
I'm not saying you're rich. I'm saying they probably think that you're fine because you just bought a house.
But I mean,
I'm saying in their data, you're probably listed as one of the ones they want to take care of.
Yeah, but I mean, for me, the only reason I was able to get any kind of, or even start to get a house, was because my dad and his service record. He has full disability from the Marine Corps. And he never used his VA home loan. Mm-hmm. So he gets approved for that. And when he and my mom bought the house that I grew up in, what happened with that is, at that time you could buy a house for $0 down.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's the people who I'm talking about. That was what their life was like growing up. Like, oh shit, should I go to college for $15 a semester, or should I, like, enlist here and take this opportunity?
Yeah,
like,
so I think if I can remember correctly, my mom and my dad got my the house I grew up in for $0 down. I think it was like $50,000 for the house, and I think it was 8% interest on the thing for the 30-year mortgage.
Wow.
Yeah, and but between the two of them, they were able to pay it off like in 5 years or so, just working. And it's not like they were working.
Years. Imagine buying a house in 5 years.
Yeah, and and look, it's not like they were working anything extravagant. My dad was a mechanic, and my mom is an RN. And when she graduated from community college and was able to get her nursing license, she had a job lined up for her right away. She was already training in the hospital that she was going to be working in while she was still in school, and then carried over and got a job right away. My dad has a technical license that he got from high school, and then got a job that he was able to work his way up and keep for for all of my adult life, where he was working as a mechanic for 30 years for all these different places.
Yeah, well, I wish I had done that.
But I mean, think about it. To go ahead and work a job like that, and be
saying,
straight out of
nobody
high
has
school?
that opportunity now.
No, and
know?
then
And
have
if
a
you do,
house
it's like
paid off in 5
Valvoline.
years.
Yeah, and if you do get that job as a mechanic now, it's going to be for like Valvoline or someone like that, some chain that's going to pay you like $12 an hour, no benefits.
Yes, exactly.
You
Something
get
stupid like that.
Obamacare. Yeah, that's what happened. They did that on purpose.
Uh-huh.
Like all of the local places that like had good, like made decent money, like paid off their, paid their employees fairly and contributed to their town. They're all gutted, like Main Street, like local businesses are non-existent now. Everywhere you go, it's just the same chain stores over and over again. Miserable. But anyway, those chains, they don't, they pay like with the chains. It's like working, at like a diner versus working at fast food.
Do you want to talk about that, the thing you had?
Yeah, that Marsha Blackburn tweet, man, that was, oh, dude.
Send it to me.
Oh my God, how did you not see that? It was so great. I thought I did send it to you.
Let me see.
Oh God. She.
The lobster
where
thing?
Did it start? No. It started this morning, and she said, I mean, it looks like she's been shit talking China for a while, but it started this morning with this tweet. China has a 5,000-year history of cheating and stealing. Some things will never change.
There we go. I love like the first tweet under is like bitch.
That's the story, man. She started mixing up with all these like Chinese politicians and
where did this go?
People.
Let's see. This is the most racist, ignorant U.S. senator I've seen in a lifetime.
Yeah, I don't see it. Where is it?
Right here. Look at this. Chen, I can't say it. Wuha? I'm not gonna say it. No.
I think that's Weihu.
Weihu? I don't know. This is the most racist.
WEI is Wei.
Wei.
And I think A silent. I don't know. Daily Caller.
See, wonder why the U.S. Congress.
American flags?
Hold up. Wonder why the U.S. Congress would have an approval rating as low as 9%, according to Gallup, is because people like lowlife Marsha Blackburn were there.
That one is so good.
Oh.
What else did we have?
Was there any more responses to this? Or did she end up just going back and forth with these people?
Yeah, we'll look at the rest of her tweets, and then she's been melting down about it.
Let's see. Oh, there we go. Yeah, she did end up responding. Let's see.
Is there a trending tab?
There you go, bitch. And then, Chen, you're a puppet in Xi Jinping's delusional China.
Xi Jinping.
Xi Jinping's delusional China dream for global domination from Tiananmen Square to the Uyghur genocide. Communist China is an expert in slaughtering populations. America will not bow down to sexist communist thugs.
Sexist communist thugs.
How does this excuse the racist comment you just made, though? Said,
it's like
look at this.
Yeah.
Listen, you literally just said the Chinese have a 5,000-year history of stealing things. Wow.
Yeah. Like that. She just like tweeted through it, right? Like.
Yeah, that's exactly.
She starts
what
the
did.
morning off by saying, like they've always been, shitty. What did she say? She said they 5,000-year history of cheating and stealing.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, can you imagine saying that? She's a fucking senator, and she just said, like, all Chinese people are thieves.
Yeah, I mean, look, she even retweeted a screenshot of it. A 5,000-year history of cheating and stealing. And you imagine if they say, if somebody who came out and said that, like, about the Jews, like, the Jews have a long history of being shysters. That's exactly what she did.
Yeah. About anybody else, people said that it would be like, well, I mean, probably the Russians. I could see people saying that about the Russians, right? Like, that fucking those shit libs just go off on Russia and act like it's just totally, NBD. Like,
yeah,
I just think you have no.
I mean, it's that's like something you would think about, like in regards to like parody, because that what that reminds me of is, you ever seen that South Park episode where they have like the Japanese dude?
I don't think so.
Yeah, well,
I only watched the first couple seasons of South Park.
Oh, the South Park. But, well, there was an episode where there was a Japanese dude opens up a sushi restaurant, and, like, the Chinese guy starts beefing with them. And then at one point or another, he tells him, like, what you did was kind of sneaky. Kind of like Pearl Harbor. That was kind of sneaky, too. Kind of insinuating, like, Japanese people have a tendency to be sneaky. Right, but I mean that's kind of what you're seeing here. Like, you're trying to put it. I don't know what kind of. I don't even know there was a stereotype like that, and
there's not
pretty brazenly racist.
Yeah,
and
they just say that shit.
Yeah,
it's like that screen, like that famous tweet from Sean from YouTube, right? Uh-huh. It's like, brigaded again by the vile trolls after I said, after all I did was say they were, oh God, I can't remember, I'm going to get the quote right. It's like, brigaded by the vile trolls. All I did was say that they were terrible people or something, like something really funny.
Uh-huh.
Like, it's like when the shit libs tweet, like, oh, those Bernie bros are just, like, they have, like, the smallest dicks, and they like to suck each other's dicks, and they hate poor people and black people. Why do they do that so much? And then when people reply, like, what the fuck, lady? They're like, oh my God, you're being so mean to me.
You're being sexist by calling me a lady in that context.
That's what Blackburn just did. They called her a bitch, and she was like, stop being so sexist.
Right.
They're going to, like, I've heard people have been talking about it. It's like they're going to get just as bad with the, like, sensitivity, like, stop being ableist, like, stop being sexist.
I wish I was
like,
that. I wish I was that
cool. Stop mansplaining to me. Like, the chuds are gonna do that shit now,
right?
Because they're gonna pretend that, like, it's like they're somehow, like, because they already do it, right? They're so like, they play the victim, so, like, it's the most just embarrassing thing to see them do it, right? It's just, you couldn't, the way they pretend that, like, like white conservatives in the suburbs are, like, somehow, like, a protected class, or, like, everybody's out to get them.
Yeah.
Like, that AOC tweet this morning, like, Nick replied to it.
Which one was it?
I don't know if you saw that. The one she said about the black-owned businesses suffering, the Veritas one.
I didn't see Nick reply to it.
Nick replied to that, and somebody replied to him, and he was like, ever heard of affirmative action? Right? And it's like, I clicked on the guy's profile, and it's like, retired law enforcement officer. It's just like, oh, you motherfucker. Like, you people think that way, right? That's what they think. Mm-hmm. These, like, tough guy cops think that, like, like, fuck black people, they had affirmative action, and they're whatever, burned down the city, right? Like,
did you see the one where one of those reps took a shot at legalizing pot in one of those bills, I guess, that are being introduced into the House?
No, I didn't.
Yeah,
I was gonna dunk on Chuds for some more.
Well, I mean, I'll give you more. So
more Chud dunking time.
Yeah. So
it's just so cringe. Like,
see, we're trying to get COVID relief and stimulus checks out to people, and right now Republicans in Congress are prematurely trying to adjourn Congress. People are going hungry, and they're treating this like a game. Leaders don't abandon people in their time of greatest need. So this representative, here we go, Arrington from Texas.
Oh, I think I did see this. Yeah, I think I replied to this guy.
Yeah, respectfully, that's not what you're trying to do, Congresswoman. House Democrats leadership brought the House into session this week to legalize pot and vote on the Tiger King bill. No stimulus, no COVID release. Yeah, there you go. You freaking disgusting.
What a cocksucker here.
But AOC did. I mean, she's just going out and serving all these.
I try to use their language back at them. Try to say
Yeah.
stuff like, "You're the ones who are destroying America. You're the ones who hate America." Because I feel like they think that.
So I mean, but this is true though. The House has passed multiple COVID relief bills. They get blocked up in the Senate because McConnell's in charge of it. See, far more and they're far more generous than the GOPs for working people. The GOPs are, and then the GOP are singing those things, and then and the pot bills that you're still dismissive of will expunge millions of people's records from the unjust war on drugs. Still no reason to adjourn. You know, in case people would like to learn more about the act spearheaded by Representative Jerry Nadler and Barbara Lee. So there you go. Yeah, weed legalization. I mean, to go and attack them, the Democrats, on a decent bill when they actually have one up. You know, I mean, and even in the state of Texas,
those guys don't do shit. That's what their thing is. Their thing is we don't do shit. We're conservative. We don't change anything. Like we keep everything the same. Or if we ever change anything, it's to make things worse, right?
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Don't worry.
But
we will continue to not do anything.
Why would you go ahead and try to make that weed argument? I mean, that's a dead issue by now. It's passing in every red state too, as far as legalization.
Trying to make the weed argument. He was trying to make the argument that
he's taking a shot at
Democrats are like dirtballs.
But he's
saying
trying to take a
you
shot
just came in to vote for like Tiger King and pot. That's all you care about is like TV and drugs. Like
yeah, but I mean, why would you? Okay, why is he gonna go and bring weed into it when it's actually a popular issue? It's kind of like another cell phone.
I don't even think he was. Like he was just saying like, you know, that's who they are. Like they're scumbags who smoke weed and watch Tiger King and don't work. You know, like that's what he's doing. He's not necessarily like making an argument about weed, right? And it doesn't matter.
You think he's going to vote to legalize weed?
I don't know how the Republicans are going to vote. Like, I think some of them will. But I don't think it doesn't matter. I don't think anybody, I mean, maybe some people who say someone like grows up Republican and then, you know, they turn 18 and they like are going to start voting Republican, but then, you know, the Democrats decide to vote to legalize weed and they don't. I mean, I could see that doing some bringing some people over. But do you think like grown men and women are going to switch parties if you know, your guy? That's what I'm saying. So it doesn't matter. He can do that, and these people are motivated by a deeper hatred, right? Like it's this like animosity towards change,
right?
You know, like and like demographics and shit like that, right? That's their thing. That's what they are voting for. It's like white identity politics. So like the weed thing doesn't matter. So they can take that's really perverse that they can take like the wrong side of the argument so often in so many different issues, right? And like, you know, polls we see, it's like they're, you know, like 3/4 of the country, most of this stuff, right? At least like abortion, gun rights, all of the positions that Republicans take, their people aren't on board with them. You know, even Republicans aren't really on board with that agenda anymore. And then they continue doing it, and people continue voting for them. I don't know. I feel like Democrats are better. Like
I mean, do you think any of them have like the instincts to go out on a limb and just be like, all right, I'm going to differentiate myself on this one issue because everybody kind of agrees with it?
No, I think some of them are for weed legalization.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, we could probably check that out, but you could probably pull up that article AOC linked. Yeah, why don't you open that article?
All right,
and I'll talk about them for a minute.
Let's see.
What was they saying?
Where let's go.
Yeah, the Democrats, like their thing is like what they try to do, like the centrists try to take like.
Man, couldn't they have come up with a more creative name for this thing though? Come on, the MORE Act.
Whatever. I don't like that.
Come on, there's that
acronym
weed.
Shit kind of is kind of lame.
But I mean, it's weed.
Purpose.
You could have come up with a better act. You could have made it like the Weed Act, you know? Like the first legalization bill to make it to the floor of Congress would decriminalize marijuana at the federal level and begin to give back communities hardest hit by the war on drugs.
Fuck yeah.
So yeah, the 2018 Democrats gained control of the House of Representatives. Cannabis justice advocates knew they needed to get to work. Every 2 years, a handful of states of new states were joining those that are already legalized cannabis and either recreationally or medicinally. See, federal decriminalization was inevitable. If advocates wanted to have any say in what legislation looks like, the first Democratic House majority since 2011 was their best chance to make inroads. So anybody doing work on drug policy and criminal justice could see that it was only a matter of time before the federal government legalized cannabis. Maritza Perez, National Affairs Director of Drug Policy Alliance, said, "We want to make certain that when they did it right." The result is 2 years later, the Marijuana Opportunity Reinvestment Expungement Act, which the House will vote on this week. It's the first time either chamber of Congress will take up a bill to legalize cannabis, but the MORE Act goes far beyond decriminalizing. Included in the bill are several social and criminal justice measures that will help lift the communities of color ravaged by the war on drugs, while helping build an equitable cannabis industry in which people of color disproportionately impacted by prohibition have a seat at the table. So I'm trying to see if there's anything about Republicans on here. There's so this was a congressional cannabis.
67% of the country.
Yeah, there we go.
Legalization,
yeah, see,
including majority of Republicans.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I mean. I think most issues, like we see, it's like 70% of the country
38
supports
states and DC have allowed some form of it for medicinal purposes. And every cannabis measure last month passed convincingly. 1 in 3 Americans now live in states that have legalized the recreational use.
Yeah, it's just like this is great for if they can get it to expunge the
and this
records,
is the stupidest thing is like cannabis is still a Schedule 1 narcotic.
Yeah, it's the fucked up part is all these people with these felonies on their records.
And look, and
right?
black
For
Americans
like
are 3.6 times more likely to be arrested for cannabis-related offenses, despite similar usage numbers. That's the insane thing.
And they get busted like for longer for like selling and all too.
Exactly.
Like, compare like you get caught like selling dime bags on the corner, you're going to go down a lot longer than if you get caught like selling like bags of weed like on your in your dorm room.
I'm trying to see if there's any.
Say anything about Republicans?
Here we go. The MORE Act is expected to pass through the Democratic-controlled House, but the Senate isn't expected to take it up anytime soon. Majority Leader Mitch McConnell stifled laughter as he mocked the cannabis banking provisions Democrats included in their coronavirus relief proposal as the vote had drawn near this week. The GOP has gleefully bashed the bill as a frivolous distraction.
What a bunch of douchebags.
The far left needs to sort of cool their jets, Senator Todd Young said during the press conference on Tuesday. But moving the MORE Act through the Senate immediately is not the point. A cannabis legalization bill passing in the House would still be a monumental achievement to build on in service of advancing both the industry and the fight against the war on drugs. It speaks to the cultural shift happening in the country and would set a marker and make it easier for us to pass the MORE Act in the future. Yeah, you see, the Republicans aren't going to pass this.
That really sucks. That
see, look, here we go. There's Matt Gaetz popping up here. So, Republicans like Mitch McConnell scoff at cannabis-related justice provisions, and even those who support the MORE Act. See, look, there you go. Matt Gaetz supports it. There he is.
My man. Who else does?
Have taken issue, but he's taken issue with the bill's restorative justice elements.
Of course he does.
But work being done now to bake some of those measures into legislation means that once both chambers of Congress are ready to legalize cannabis, it's going to be hard for them to do it in a way that doesn't include a lot of these measures to lift up communities impacted by the war on drugs. Republicans like Gaetz may object to some of these provisions, but they still vote. They'll still vote for the bill because the bottom line is their constituents want cannabis legalized. There's another one. Corey Gardner, who's come to embrace cannabis in response to his constituents. He didn't start there, Hawkins says, but he became a champion. Gardner has indeed advocated for the industry in response to the success of cannabis legalization in Colorado, but he also stopped short of supporting legislation to legalize cannabis at the federal level. There could be a lesson there.
Yeah, they don't, because that's not their constituency.
Right.
Like, they don't give a fuck.
Right.
And it's also, they get rewarded for that, right? Like, that's the kind of thing that, like, when they get primaried from the right, that's the kind of thing that they go after them for.
But I mean,
you voted on Nancy Pelosi's bill
to legalize marijuana. Like, that's not a popular.
Well, anything. I mean, like, if they vote for a Democrat proposal, right? They're not even allowed to like vote for stuff.
Because the Democrat brought it up.
Yeah, exactly. They can't. No, like I'm dead serious. They're psychotic, man. They're really gotta do something about that. Those
do you want to talk about that
psycho chuds?
Do you want to talk about that BlackRock thing?
No, let's talk about the where is it?
Andre throwing chairs.
Did you see the Dan Crenshaw thing?
No. Let's see, Dan Crenshaw. Well, he's trending.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I mean, the only thing I saw is that his district looks like a fucking Onyx.
No, he tweeted about Lynn. He said Lynn Wood is a Democrat that wants Republicans to self-destruct. Just because he wears a MAGA hat does not mean he shares a single value with you. He just wants your donations for his legal fees. He's a grifter. Vote in Georgia. Protect the accomplishments of the last 4 years. And then
this was at that press conference, the one that Sidney Powell that's what he's talking about.
That's what I'm saying. Lynn Wood did that shit.
But Sidney Powell did the same thing, right? Okay, let's go to this. So here's Lynn Wood telling Georgia Republicans not to vote for Kelly Loeffler and David Perdue next month. They have not earned your vote. Don't give it to them. Why would you go back and vote in another rigged election? For God's sakes, fix it. You got to fix it. Okay. So let's go to this.
Are more alike than we are different. But I'm going to disagree with Vernon Jones. Where's Kelly Loeffler here? Where's David Perdue? He ought to be standing right here. Those two people want your vote, then they ought to tell you what we're... Get a special session of the legislature now. Do not be fooled twice. This is Georgia. We ain't dumb. We're not going to go vote on January 5th in another machine made by China. You're not going to fool Georgians again. If Kelly Loeffler wants your vote, if David Perdue wants your vote, they've got to earn it. They've got to demand publicly, repeatedly, consistently, Brian Kemp call a special session of the Georgia legislature. And if they do not do it, if Kelly Loeffler and David Perdue do not do it, they have not earned your vote. Don't you give it to them. Why would you go back and vote in another rigged election?
Stupid.
For God's sakes, fix it. You gotta fix it before we'll do it again. They've already got 800,000 absentee ballots. They're printing them out.
Oh shit, man. Okay, so like that could actually lose them the Senate races. I wasn't factoring that into it.
That's what I said last night, man. That's the only chance I give for them. If enough of those people are black-pilled,
that they're black-pilled and they don't. And they think that. Well, what did Sidney Powell say? Because they were going. Who went after her? Somebody went after her too.
She said a similar thing. Like she said basically the same thing. They had some rally yesterday, and then Crenshaw was like, "Nah, fuck that." Also, we got to look at Chen Wei-Hu's feet, man. He just fucking goes off on these chuds all day. Just fucking.
Okay, let me see. I see this one.
This guy is a dope account. I'm gonna follow this guy.
What's this? What's this about? Let me see.
The world of real Americans, we're not defined by who we look like, what we.
No, that's not it.
What is she talking about? She's probably got some amusing shit to say.
I'm not sure. I'm trying to find where.
We should look at all the quote tweets of that Blackburn tweet, because that's probably where all the gold is. Yeah, dude. Chen Wei-Hu's based. It's gonna be. Let's see. Mehdi Hassan said, "Remember when Republicans pretended that their China virus rhetoric wasn't a racist attack on China, the country, but on the Chinese Communist Party? Nothing they say can be believed. It's all lies, all bad faith, all the time. Racism is what drives them." Fucking Mehdi. That's what. I don't think it's racism. I think it's. Well, I mean, it depends. Like I was thinking about that. The China thing. It's just like the liberals hate Russia. I don't think it's racist now. I mean, probably a little bit is, right? But like, I feel like it's mostly nationalist, right? Like they want to have a Cold War to compete against them. Like, I guess you would call that racist, but like, it seems it's more sort of, the overall like otherness of it,
Yeah. Well, what do you think that these guys are out there trying to say? That do they? I have a hard time believing that they've actually drunk the Kool-Aid that much, where they're saying don't vote in an election that's rigged, right? I mean, because the Republicans in office have to, they have to know that that's priority right now is to.
Well, look at Dan Crenshaw's reply. That's what I'm saying. I went back to the China thing, but look at Crenshaw's reply saying that, and then the people got on him. Like, look at the quote tweets to Crenshaw's thing.
All right, let me look at this. Yeah, okay.
The chuds are mad.
Yeah,
Go fuck yourself, Dan. You are not MAGA. You are no patriot. Lin Wood is. He's done more to preserve freedom than you ever have. You showed your true globalist colors when you started openly supporting red flag laws and sucked up to no-name McCain. Sit your candy ass down. Look at the quote tweets.
Oh, this one?
Crenshaw's.
However, you just clipped your own balls off, not the hill to die on, jacket.
Linwood is a Democrat. He wants the Republicans to self-destruct. I think Linwood is a Democrat, too. But he's, like, going down doing that shit, like, trying to get them all worked up. But the chuds are mad, dog. They called him a globalist.
Wow.
That's like the worst thing you can be. They really hate let's see. They hate the Bush Republicans.
You see, and they're really but I mean, these guys are all in on the fucking voter fraud thing. See, I mean,
Dan Crenshaw's a globalist. John McCain in an eye patch who loves to party hardy while our country burns. Protect our election system in our country, not the GOP swamp.
Go to hell, Dan Crenshaw. So now they're pay right, your little dollars to attack.
This is great,
Linwood, because you have a. Oh wow.
But it's like in the primary, right? Like in 2016 and 2020, everybody on the left dug up dirt on the opposition. So like if they start looking into the other Republicans because they want to call them globalist frauds, they'll start seeing how terrible they are.
Look at this one. Crenshaw is big mad because Linwood said senators should have to earn our votes. The GOP has grown so entitled that saying this is controversial and blasphemous. They think their actions don't matter, and we subjects have a duty to put them right back in office. I actually like that one.
Linwood said senators should have to earn our votes. The GOP is.
You never stand up for President Trump, Dan Crenshaw. We've been watching you the past 4 years. You hedge every bet and never take a stand.
He does. He does, man.
Oh,
dude. He's a shit lib. Like, he's a shit lib in an eye patch. Like, he does, like, he wants to do all that like globalist shit, right? Like, he doesn't care about the MAGA stuff, right?
Man,
just
Dan Crenshaw is a globalist is actually the first thing that comes up when you're searching him now.
Yeah. Dan Crenshaw's a neocon wolf in sheep's clothing. He got America first.
That's ridiculous.
He's not America first, a populist, or any of the things we all loved about Trump. Just because he wears a MAGA hat does not mean he shares a single value with you. He just wants that military-industrial complex money from my girl Cassandra Fairbanks. That's the lady I got in a fight with that time about the Confederate flag.
Oh.
She's a fucking QAnon lady.
I'm trying to see. I know.
Well, then some of them are saying this Carmine Sabia guy.
Did you actually see what David Perdue came out and said, though?
Crenshaw's correct. Vote in Georgia unless you want the Democrats to get everything on their agenda that they want.
There's no, there was a. Let me see. I have to get into incognito mode for this one.
I mean, maybe they should do that as an excuse. Like, maybe they secretly want the Democrats to get the power to do those bills. I don't think that's the case, but maybe I'm sure there's a handful like that. Like, like Joe Biden will send me a check.
Man, they don't let me open the thing. It's not like the New York Times, I guess.
What are you looking at?
The David Perdue. He was really acknowledging Biden won.
Who did? Crenshaw?
Perdue.
Oh. That's not gonna help him. It's not. Look at these
Perdue
psychos.
says Biden won.
Yeah, that's not gonna help him.
Yeah.
These people are gonna be pissed. Like, they're like, see how fucking gung ho they are. Like, if you say vote, they're mad at you. Like, if you say like, Trump didn't win, they're like, that's enough for them to like, it'd be like Bernie saying like, I think that all lives matter, like something like that, right? Like, it's a complete repudiation of what their whole aesthetic is.
Well, I mean, like, you had said that Perdue has a better chance to win than Loeffler. Yeah. Right? So, I mean, now between the black-pilled Republicans and then people might have been, turned off to vote for Perdue because he's out here, acknowledging the reality that Biden won. I mean, what are you thinking now? Do you think Dems have a better shot at winning the Senate?
It's still slim. Here, check out the show I just sent you. This was yesterday morning. I don't know if we forgot to talk about this. Or no. A couple days ago.
Let me see. Watch. And when the oily likes of Marco Rubio, Ted Cruz, Nikki Haley, Kristi Noem, and Dan Crenshaw slither out in 2024 to claim their leaders, remember, not one of them spoke out against these murder threats by Trump lawyers and Trump supporters. Really?
At the beginning of this, I'm going to do my best to keep it together because it has all gone too far. All of it. Joe DeGenova today asked for Chris Krebs, a patriot who ran CISA, to be shot. A 20-something tech in Gwinnett County today has death threats and a noose put out saying he should be hung for treason because he was transferring a report on batches from an EMS to a county computer so he could read it. It has to stop.
This guy looks like a lib.
Mr. President, you have not condemned these actions or this language. Senators, you have not condemned this language or these actions. This has to stop. We need you to step up, and if you're going to take a position of leadership, show some. My boss, Secretary Raffensperger, his address is out there. They have people doing caravans in front of their house. They've had people come onto their property. Tricia, his wife of 40 years, is getting sexualized threats through her cell phone. It has to stop.
Sexualized threats.
What is this for?
It's the Georgia, like, Secretary of State guy or something.
Okay.
Like, he's the guy, like, in charge of, like, counting the election in Georgia, I think. Or one of the guys, the top guys. I think he's a Republican.
Mm-hmm.
But they've been getting fucking death threats. You heard them. Like, they've been, like, waiting outside after work to, like, intimidate them. And, like, you're, like, following them home and calling them and texting them. Like, just talking mad shit. Like, you better not steal the election from Donald Trump. You know, like, just, you know, viciously, it sounds like.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think anybody on the right spoke out about it. Correct me if I'm wrong, but...
No.
They, shit's intense down in Georgia, man. I don't know. I mean, I heard that Republicans are ahead in the mail-in ballots.
Mm-hmm.
You know, maybe they'll cheat, but...
What, are they going to try to mail-in ballot now? Do the vote by mail?
Yeah. Ooh. Let's call him a Zionist shill.
What's this newer clip that keeps going around? What's this thing? Let me see.
A bundle payment, I'll just use that as an example, is you pay for an episode of care. So you have even say an episode of cancer.
An episode of cancer?
Insurance will pay for the entirety of that episode. And if the hospital or doctor saves money in the process, they will share some of the savings. So will incentivize folks not to overtreat.
Yeah, I tweeted about this.
Oh, man, what?
That's the thing. That's the difference between, like, the left and everybody else is, like, we understand that you can't, like, make a law where, like, you know, they're going to make more from this, or it's going to be easier, so they're going to share the profits with the people, you know? That doesn't happen. You know, like, they take every last cent they can get away with.
Yeah, I mean, because it sounds a little bit like they're offering, like, the doctors are...
She's describing healthcare dynamics, right?
Yeah.
Like, she's saying, if we make it, you know, if we subsidize this, so it's the doctors make more money off of it, they'll pass on that savings to their customers. What she's saying.
But it sounds a little bit more realistically like if she's saying that the insurance company should offer, like, doctors kickbacks.
I mean, or that. I mean, I mean, she's describing that dynamic.
I mean, doesn't that kind of incentivize them also kind of to undertreat, so you don't spend as much and you have more to kick back to the doctor?
No, she's saying, that's what it is. Yeah, she's saying they're overtreating now. Yeah, I don't know what she's saying. So if they're overtreating now, you are going to make that illegal somehow?
Yeah. But then why are they saying? But why? And then why would she describe it as an episode of cancer? It's just funny language. An episode.
Yeah, because it's like a product to them. It's like a discrete chunk of sales. Like, you get this disease, and this is how we respond to it. You know,
with an episode,
you recover or you don't.
That's episode.
Literally the business model. That's how they operate.
An episode of.
Like they want you to have. That's what I'm saying. They want you to have, like, you know, an episode, but not too much of an episode, and then they can just,
an episode. Like, who
take
has
as
an
much
episode
as you know,
of cancer. You know,
when you get cancer.
Yeah, that's just funny language.
Like, what else would you call it?
I don't know. I mean, there's a bunch of other language that they use. I never heard it referred to as an episode. No, you're suffering from cancer, maybe something like that. Maybe you have a bout with cancer.
I guess it sounds better than they get cancer.
Yeah. I don't know. That just seemed weird.
It's all so perverse, like describing the whole dynamic with just like financialized terms, right? Like there's just no way you can spin it so that that's a commodity, healthcare, right? The way it's bought and sold.
I mean, that's what I mean. Like that kind of language just suggests that it's so commodified to them, right?
Yeah, and it is. I mean, I guess on a certain level, they have to think of it that way. Like they have to know like how to gauge for their business or whatever. But they have like it should be clear to anybody hearing them describe it, then talking about it, then thinking about it, that it's not really the free market like they're trying to describe it. Like it really shouldn't be a product like that.
Right.
Like it's not like you can shop around for providers. Like you have the options that your healthcare provider gives you, and you can't like compare prices with different doctors. It's not. None of these dynamics exist. They can't say that like this is how the market will operate because the market is this fucking weird artificial thing.
Yeah.
Where they just set the price and there's no limits on like what they can charge for their procedure. Like they can charge whatever they want. That's why you end up paying like $75 for a water bottle and stuff like that at the hospital, because there's no like no bargaining whatsoever. There's nobody sticking up for the people at all.
Yeah. Let's see. Did you see that whole you see Obama got even cringier with the whole COVID vaccine?
Why he's going to do take a shot on TV?
Yeah, that's what he had already said, and we talked about that, where he was going to go ahead and pull a Flint, Michigan 2.0 with the vaccine. But this is how he made it even cringier. What's more cringy than one president going and taking the vaccine on TV? You got three presidents. All former presidents Obama, Bush, and Clinton all volunteer to get the COVID vaccine publicly to prove that it's safe. Let's see, is there a video with it? I don't want to run an ad from that.
It looks like Tulsi backed the president in the Section 230 thing.
Let me see.
This is Ed.
I don't know, but there we go.
Full step in the effort to stop the spread of coronavirus. And next week, the FDA is going to meet and discuss approving the first vaccine candidate for use in the United States. But even when vaccines are available to the general public sometime next year, there are still questions about how many people will line up to get the shots. Now, three former presidents are teaming up to help this effort. Bill Clinton, George W. Bush, and Barack Obama say that they will be willing to get vaccinated on camera if it helps promote public confidence in vaccine safety.
Why?
So if Anthony Fauci tells me this vaccine is safe and can vaccinate, immunize you from getting COVID, absolutely I'm going to take it. I may end up taking it on TV or having it filmed just so that people know that,
God.
I trust this science.
Okay.
And what I don't trust is getting COVID.
Every customer has their own safe fight story.
All right. Yeah. I mean, the main response that's been going around since Obama has said that is, of course, that refer the whole Flint, Michigan thing. But then, I mean, you imagine all three of them coming out together doing that? I mean, I don't know. Would it make a difference with people?
No, the people who care about that shit are the ones who are already down. You're not going to convince any psycho anti-vaxxers that
I mean, I don't know.
I'll do it.
What I mean,
you should pay people, plain and simple. You should give everybody. You should get their stimulus check once they get the vaccine.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
that's a good way to incentivize everybody. Go ahead and tie it to a stimulus check or something.
Yeah,
that's a smart way to do it. But I mean, they threw a W in the mix there. But it seems like what Trump effectively has done is kind of disconnected the judge from people that would go ahead and assault and theoretically care about Bush coming out and backing the vaccine, right? Because it was the Republican primary in 2016 was a repudiation of the Bush years as well.
Yeah, they hate Bush.
Yeah, so I'm talking about Republicans now won't care about George Bush coming out there and backing a vaccine any more than they care about Bill Clinton or Obama coming out and backing it.
I don't think that'll matter either.
Yeah.
Yeah. They hate Bush and Obama. They hate both of them.
They probably lump them all in the same thing. They probably call him lib by now. Or a globalist like they called Dan Crenshaw.
Well, he didn't do any he didn't come out to support Biden or anything.
No.
You know? I was expecting him to at the end there, weren't you? He still managed to hang on to his credibility, I think, for the most part.
Yeah, I wonder about. I don't know how much credibility Bush has with the Republican base now.
They wouldn't listen to what he says. They're not going to do something because he told him to. But
right.
If he was saying something that they wanted to hear, then he would. They would support him, right?
Maybe.
That's how it is. If you say anything that's anything that's not exactly what they want,
right,
you're the enemy. So it's if a Republican governor says Trump lost the election, then he's a shit lib.
Right.
If Bill Barr says we're not investigating it anymore, then he's deep state. He is deep state, right?
Yeah.
But, let's see.
Do you want to talk about the Monolith now?
Tulsi backs Trump on 230.
Okay. Well, then we do Tulsi first.
What about the movie theaters? Are you pissed off about that?
What do you mean? What happened with the movie theaters?
Warner Brothers is set to release its entire 21 movie lineup all at once on HBO Max and in theaters.
So you get to watch it on HBO Max?
Yeah, they're not going to... movie theaters are going to go out of business, it looks like.
Well, for the time being, nobody's going to the damn movie, so I'm glad they're releasing everything on streams.
For all year next year?
That'd be fine. I'll watch everything from home. I'll be good. I'll watch everything on HBO Max. I've been waiting for a fucking Black Widow movie all year. We didn't even get that shit until the whole Mulan thing when that was released on Disney Plus. That seemed like it was pretty successful for them.
It was terrible.
You didn't like the movie?
You like that movie?
I thought it was okay.
God, it was so boring. They didn't none of the good songs. No cool anime. No Robin Williams.
See, it was Eddie Murphy. And see, I know we're leftists, so we aren't supposed to enjoy things, but I'm pretty hyped about HBO. Yeah, I like HBO Max. I watch that all the time. You got Rick and Morty on there. You got a good slew of movies I can watch.
Yeah, I like HBO Max, but I'm just saying, I don't want the movie theaters to be done,
Well, I used to love going to the movies, but definitely, yeah, exactly. I used to love going to the movies too. I used to go all the time to the damn movies, but if the safe thing is for
HBO Max is sick.
Yeah,
I like HBO Max.
Fresh Prince.
Yeah,
but look,
I just like going to the movies. Yeah, exactly. It's fucking awful. Remember when? She was a big anti-Hong Kong person.
Oh man, I guess I'm like the lone voice of support for that Mulan movie. I didn't think it was that bad. You know, I mean, maybe, I mean, like as far as like the Disney, live action shit, you know, I mean, a lot of them have been I mean, I thought the Jungle Book was also like more in that positive category.
Most of them were okay, but I thought that one sucked.
I was okay with it. I wasn't expecting like a shot for shot, you know, thing. I don't like. I'm not too big a fan like, of that. You know, like Lion King. I thought they could have done a lot better with.
Yeah, I thought. Wow, you didn't like the new Lion King?
No, it was the same thing, and then it was just less expressive because they're doing like hyper realism with it. So.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't think it was as good either, but of course it wasn't going to be. The songs were pretty good though.
Yeah.
The Mulan one just didn't even have good songs. Is the thing. Like, if they had sick jams, I could have dealt.
And
with
you know, like the whole
movie.
China, like I think it was a little bit of Chinese censorship, not to.
Of course it was, man.
Yeah.
They all do that shit. Like, well, that's what Matty Iglesias and Rogan talked about in the clip. If you want to watch it, it talked about China. I just don't like. I don't like that people want to fuck with them. Like, I don't understand. Well, it's pissing me off so much that people are trying to make that part of the discourse, right? Like that this anti-China vibe shouldn't be something that people talk about in the news, and it's just so fucking pointless to me. I just don't see why they're falling for it. Like, please don't do it. You know, like, don't take the bait. It's just the globalists, like the globalists. I mean, they like think about it. What can you accomplish by agitating for China? What the fuck do you want? Like, nobody's going to do anything like Trump's trade war, right?
Yeah.
So, like, that was your shot. You took it and you got owned. Like, you got embarrassed, right? Like, you want to double down and do some more dumb shit just to, like, further embarrass us.
Highly recommend rewatching The Sopranos. Yeah, I periodically do that when I'm in a mob mood. I'll go ahead and rewatch The Sopranos. I can't wait for
we stream too much. I don't have time to do anything else.
I don't know. I'll find time to watch that Godfather 3 though when they do the recut. Let's do that. Let's look at the latest thing on the Monolith. Let's see.
Looks like Republican senators are giving cold feet about with respect to termination of Big Tech Section 230. And national security and election integrity must.
Okay, fine. We'll look at the Section 230.
No action. Termination must be put in defense bill. If they can't let him do this. This is fucking nuts.
All right, so here we go. Like, Trump doubles down on Section 230 repeal after GOP pushback. So
this is nuts, bro.
Here we go. Trump doubled down Thursday on his calls for Republicans to include the repeal of legal protection. What happened with the
Civil War bases or the Confederate War thing? Well, didn't we read a story just like this about the Confederate?
Yeah,
he said unless
that
you
he's
take
blocking
that part out, did they take it out?
Yeah, because they're going to rename all the Confederate named bases, right? So,
but he used the same threat for this.
Yeah,
he said, "I'm not going to sign the defense bill unless you take the 230 out of it,
right?
Or unless you repeal 230."
So, Trump recognized the Republican criticism of his proposal, but said repealing Section 230, a provision that protects tech firms from liability over third-party content on their platform, is a must. Yeah, here you go. So there's that one you were talking about, the cold feet thing. But Trump has rallied against social media platforms throughout his tenure over unsubstantiated claims that companies such as Twitter and Facebook are unfairly censoring conservative content. He views the repeal of Section 230 as a prime way of hitting back at the firms. And his criticism has ramped up in recent weeks as the platforms flag his posts featuring unfounded claims of widespread voter fraud in the presidential race. The president first demanded the Republicans tie a Section 230 repeal with the annual National Defense Authorization Act earlier this week, warning that to veto the annual legislation if a repeal is not included. He had previously threatened to repeal the bill over a provision mandating that the Pentagon rename Confederate-named military bases. So his calls appeared to fall mostly on deaf ears this week in Congress, however, as several Republicans said they already reached a deal with Democrats on language for the NDAA, and a provision regarding Section 230 did not belong in the defense bill. So 230 has nothing to do with the military. I agree with the sentiments, but you cannot do that in this bill. It's not part of the bill. See, I would hope that he would not actually follow through with that because the NDAA is critical. Saying Trump's veto threat over Section 230. So congressional negotiators began signing a compromise bill between the House and Senate versions known as a conference report Wednesday evening without any language on Section 230. Josh Hawley, meanwhile, has said that he cannot support the NDAA because it doesn't contain Section 230 reforms, but does contain language regarding Confederate named bases. And Senator Lindsey Graham said he was supportive of Trump using all leverage he can to reform tech protection. So Tulsi Gabbard said she fully backs Trump on his veto threat and saying, please don't back down. See, I fully support you on this. Please don't back down. The freedom and future of our country is at stake. Man, she's so weird. See, however, these voices of support appear to be in the minority, with the Republicans in the Senate leadership noting that the NDAA must be passed. Okay, so
this is fucking nuts, man.
Yeah.
If I was Twitter, I would fucking cancel their accounts. I don't give a fuck. Both of them. Tulsi, anybody who says anything about 230, I would fucking just.
All right, so why don't you back up? Man. Tell us a little bit more about Section 230 again, bro.
It's the way the entire internet would be, the whole way it is now. It's not that there's no that you couldn't have anything like the way it is. They would fuck everybody. They would, if the companies had to take liability for the stuff on their platform.
Okay.
They wouldn't let you post on their platform, right? So Section 230 allows them to host third-party content on websites without having full liability for it.
So we're talking about
Section. Like
so we're talking about Section 30 of the Communications and Decency Act, right? So here we go. Tucked in side of the Communications Decency Act of 1996 is one of the most valuable tools for protecting freedom of expression and innovation on the internet. So it says, no provider or user of an interactive computer service shall be treated as the publisher or speaker of any information provided by any information content provider. So in other words, online intermediaries that host or republish speeches are protected from a range of laws that might otherwise be used to hold them legally responsible for what others say and do. The protected intermediaries could not only the protected intermediaries include not only regular internet service providers, but a range of interactive computer service providers, including basically any online service that publishes third-party content, though there are important exceptions for certain criminal and intellectual property-based claims. So 230 creates a broad protection that has allowed innovative and free speech online to flourish. So, the framework has allowed YouTube and Vimeo users to upload their own videos, Amazon and Yelp to offer countless user reviews, Craigslist to host classified ads, Facebook and Twitter to offer social networking to hundreds of millions of internet users. So the sheer size of user-generated websites, Facebook alone has more than 1 billion users, and YouTube users upload 100 hours of video every minute. It would be infeasible for online intermediaries to prevent objectionable content from cropping up on their site. Rather than face potential liability for the user's actions, most would likely not host any user content at all, or would need to protect themselves by actively engaging in censorship in what we say or what we see and what we do online. So it's probably the most influential law to protect the kind of innovation that has allowed the internet to thrive since 1996. Yeah, so repealing that, they're not gonna want to get sued. They're not gonna want to be. They're not gonna want to be liable for all the bullshit that we throw out there online.
This is how it is too. This is how it is. With the Republicans and the liberals to an extent too, is they
and why
kind of that near Tandon thing is they try they legislate as if capitalist enterprises will do anything except what is the absolute scummiest thing they can get away with, right? So the fact that they might not be liable for every single piece of content, it might not be a whole lot of defamation lawsuits based on content they host, or different instances that expose them to liability, they will do the, like the sure thing and just not let anybody comment on it, not host anything. They will never do something.
They're not going to open themselves up to liability.
They won't just do us a solid. They're not going to just do the right thing.
No,
it's never going to happen.
Not.
So you can.
And I don't know what's
destroying the internet.
What's Tulsi's angle on this? Why would she even be supportive of this thing?
She hates big tech, right? That's what she's trying to do. She's trying to be like, oh, we got to step to big tech's power. They're getting this is a free pass for them, and she's smart enough to know what this entails. This would destroy the internet. It's
exactly.
It's really bizarre from Trump. Like, I thought he was a posters president. He's really not. He doesn't care about posting at all. Like, he thinks this is going to own big tech, and it's not. It's going to own them in the extent that they will continue making just as much money.
Yeah.
People will just have a less pleasant experience online. It's like the cancel culture thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, that big fucking baby doesn't like people that people can make fun of him online
without being able to just go ahead and just sue Twitter.
That's what he's trying to do. He's trying to make that liable so that you say something. If you lie about him on somebody's platform online, he can sue you. Or not even lie about him. You know how he is. Like, he wants to be able to sue people for making fun of him on Twitter. Right?
That's exactly what it is.
Bottom line,
because if he could go through and sue everybody that calls him
it's
a
about
fucking
that Bill
orange
Maher joke, right?
Yeah.
Didn't he try to sue Bill Maher or something?
Yes, he's tried to sue Bill Maher before too for ripping on him. So imagine if he could just go through his mentions
right?
Like, his ultimate fantasy is to go through his entire mentions and go and pick out everybody that goes and talks shit about him and be able to sue him.
Yeah, exactly what he's trying to do. That's what this is. So he thinks he can say oh, nobody will make fun of me if it's against the law, or if I can sue them for it. And then that's not what'll happen though, because they won't have the opportunity because the website won't host the content.
Right. Exactly.
Right? I mean, maybe they would keep it. I bet you what would happen is they would immediately stop. You couldn't comment on news articles and stuff. They wouldn't host any kind of conversation, right? You would get in and get out. So then their business model falls apart, a lot of it does. And then after that, they would wait until there was a court case for one of the big platforms, like Facebook or something.
Mm-hmm.
I think Facebook's a publisher.
Yeah.
I don't know about the other ones.
Maybe.
I don't necessarily think.
I don't think they have laws on the look. I don't know if they have laws on the book to really address social media still. I don't think they do.
No, but I'm saying I think the level of curation that Facebook does qualifies it as something more than just a forum, than just a space, right? Because that's, it's treated as that it's just like a blank canvas somewhere, on the side of a building or whatever, right? It's not. They curate things way too much to claim they have a hands-off approach. They probably do need something in between, though, right? They probably need a new standard. I don't know what that would look like. Maybe, some sort of loose, First Amendment outline so that you could get.
I think we kind of have an agreement about social media needs to be regulated as a public utility and fall under First Amendment protections. But
I don't know if that's the right thing either, though, because
I think that's probably the best approach to it. Though.
I just want the First Amendment applied. So whatever the correct forum is to apply that universally is what needs to happen. And they need to keep liberals out of the room because they will censor everybody and fuck everything up.
Yeah. All right, now let's go to the monolith. Okay, so all right, so we've been following this thing because it's been the monolith. These monoliths has been popping up all over the world, really, since one was in Romania. First one that they discovered was there for 5 years, but they just found it in Utah, and then I guess it got ripped off, and then the one in Romania showed up and then disappeared, and now a new monolith has popped up.
Dude, you're telling this wrong.
Huh?
You tell your version of it, and then I'll give my version of it.
All right. So then the new monolith has popped up in California now. This one actually looked more like a 3D print. You know, just saying, it looked more like. I thought it was. If this is the one that we would have seen in Utah first, I would have had a harder time just dismissing it, though. All right, okay, so why don't you give your version then?
Where is it? Put it on the screen.
All right, there we go.
Is that your music?
No, that's what they put with the thing.
My son just showed me something on social media, so we decided to make the hike at the last minute just to come on up and take a look for myself, because I'm pretty sure it wasn't here yesterday.
I think it disappeared from Utah and landed right in the Cascadero.
It disappeared from Utah. Part of history. Yeah, I don't know about being a part of history, but but no, I mean, it's I still can't really put my finger on why these things are popping up, who's behind them, or if it's just kind of I mean, a lot of people seem to be speculating that it's some kind of viral ad campaign. If it is some kind of marketing ploy, I wonder what the crescendo is going to be at one point. You know, if it's, you know, I kind of keep thinking about like that old Simpsons episode where they found like the remains of an angel and it's for a department store. But yeah, look, and then see, you can see somebody's already tweeted about that too. So we go. Simpsons already did it. Let's see. Like, yeah, now they're doing a little bit of. Let's see. Are you back now? There you are.
The year was 40.
You see, like, the quotes from people are saying like they're part of history. That's why they want to go vote. I mean, vote. That's why they want to go and show up to the monolith.
What happened?
Yeah, they're talking about it being part of a history, bro.
Who said that?
I don't know. Whoever's going out there and checking out this monolith.
I'm sure Hillary is involved. I thought you said it had Bernie would have won written on it.
Well, that was one of the because they're starting to meme it, of course.
The year was Alpha Z 87 Beta Quadrant Zelta.
Okay, so like the
ship left.
The more frequent explanation, though, is that it's part of some kind of viral marketing campaign. I mean, do you buy that?
No, dude, it was aliens. They sent it thousands of years ago, right? When their telescopes revealed that Earth was oxygen rich and it had a biosphere. You know, they could probably tell that there was trees and shit. And they're like, all right, well, let's go check it out. Let's go see what's there. And the first ship they sent was the one that crashed, and they have all their alien data. I mean, maybe it was a second civilization, right? Like, look, this is what I want it to be, right?
Okay,
like,
all right.
Then we'll talk about realistically.
Okay.
And then they had sent the first ship, and it had probably sent back pictures, and then it crashed, and then they recovered it, and then they've been fucking with it all these years. That's what the Tic Tac is. It's that I don't think they re-engineered it. I think they took the engine off the ship that crashed and figured out how to like fill up the gas tank or whatever and put it in the Tic Tac, right? Like that's what that was. So then these monoliths are from the new ship that you know, maybe they saw it coming in. You know, it was probably like I wonder, it probably looked like that asteroid, that interstellar asteroid. What was it called? Like Hiawatha, or what the hell was it called? The interstellar asteroid that came through the solar system a few years ago.
I don't remember.
It had like a Hawaiian name, like Holo Holo or something. Hula Hula. What was it called? Fuck, you don't tip my tongue. Nobody in chat remembers? Huehueo, I think, maybe something like that. Anyway, I think that's how it would look on our scopes. And then it got to orbit, you know, or it got to like close to Earth, and then it released the probes. And then the probes have, you know, maybe there's other ones that we didn't know about. And they came, and then clearly they're examining the Earth, trying to send back messages on what the advanced fleet should bring with it.
But you remember that? You remember that whole ancient? You remember that whole ancient alien thing that they talked about, like about Mars monolith? Like it's supposed to have some kind of meaning.
No. Oh, really?
Yeah.
I mean, I think. Well, there's that monolith on Phobos, right? That shit's crazy.
Let me see.
But that's what I think the monoliths are. I think it touched down and people fucked with it, and then it ran away.
One of the two moons
and now it keeps touching down again, trying to find new spots.
Hopefully we don't get knocked off of YouTube for this.
There's a very, very
but I mean, it's
interesting
on YouTube.
or monolith there. They call it the Phobos monolith. Buzz Aldrin, the second man to walk on the moon, they made a really big deal out of
something
this,
that's not there.
and basically claimed that it was artificial. And when we got there and studied it, it would change everything in terms of how we looked at our history.
Is it really possible there is an obelisk on a moon of Mars? One that is not a natural occurrence, but was, in fact, put there by otherworldly beings.
I've seen better pictures of this.
If so, might they have created similar structures?
All right, yeah, I don't want to get flagged up on YouTube again.
Yeah, well, you could probably find, if you just typed in Mars monolith or Phobos monolith, you could find a video from somebody that wasn't History Channel.
Monoliths.
Here, I'll look.
Let me see. Yeah, because they're talking about Buzz Aldrin. Yeah, that there's the existence of a monolith on the moon.
People with their habitation, we can keep track.
Yeah, there's a C-SPAN clip from 11 years ago.
Important.
Yeah, let's see.
To be developed from the moon. I'm not sure what it is right now, and I sure think we should identify what it is for America to make such gross expenditures again for human habitation on the moon. We can help. We can join with. Together, we can explore the moon and develop the moon. We should go boldly where man has not gone before. Fly by the comets, visit asteroids, visit the moon of Mars. There's a monolith there, a very unusual structure on this little potato-shaped object that goes around Mars once in 7 hours. When people find out about that, they're going to say, who put that there? Who put that there? Well, the universe put it there. If you choose, God put it there. Maybe.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's hard to tell what other videos are good. There's this one.
Yeah, that's why it's always easy just to go and put the History Channel thing.
All right, fine. Put the History Channel back on. I guess
I don't want to get flagged off from it.
Yeah, that sucks. Let's see. What is this one? The Space Engineers one. This one looks like it might be decent.
But yeah, they don't even have any decent. There's like no decent things about the Mars monolith. See, did you send me something?
Yeah.
All right, let's do this one. All right, Mars Monolith. What is this?
Oh, this isn't it.
Oh, we're gonna get flagged for this shit too.
Those guys. Why is it called Mars Monolith? It's like some...
It's Space Odyssey. It's a fucking 3D rendering of it too.
Mysterious numbers found. The Monolith of Phobos. This is like a pretty well-known story. I don't know why there's not...
Fuck it, I'm playing it.
A new orange story. Phobos and demons.
Egypt
So,
has a number of obelisks in it, and those obelisks are
There's video of the guy taking down the Utah one.
Years old. And
yeah, remember we looked at that?
In Ethiopia, maybe that old too. Obelisks. They're
so where's the new one?
Crystalline granite.
In California.
In the granite
no, that one's in California.
Is quartz crystal.
Yeah, San Luis Obispo.
So obelisks themselves
Central California.
are, in a sense, a crystal tower with all of the properties that quartz crystal brings to technology. It's an antenna.
Here.
And any antenna can
They're antennas?
receive a broadcast, and it can give a broadcast.
That's plausible.
And then we have these ancient obelisks that were at one point apparently all around the world.
Yeah,
it would seem that there was a worldwide system similar to a wireless broadcasting system.
Oh, wireless?
These obelisks would broadcast power into the atmosphere, and remote locations around the world could pick up that power.
Shit, man.
Much
Come
like
on.
a radio today, or a television set, a satellite phone, or a computer. This seems to be the system that was set up by extraterrestrials thousands of years ago on this planet.
Dude,
And
if this guy is saying, is this
they didn't
Childress?
just do it on planet Earth.
I think so.
We may well find
David Childress?
that when we go to Mars,
this guy, when he says something, you know it's not. Yeah,
You have to realize
he's the nutter.
that there is more than just the stones involved. There's a kind of energy field around them.
Oh.
And it works through the stones by way of their placement.
Oh, even Stonehenge is in on this.
Or in rows, or standing singly. They would ground
Yeah, I sent you
celestial
another
energy, transmit it, and download it into the local landscape. It was meant to be a kind of passive, continuous input to the Earth from the celestial and galactic realms.
These sort of
I saw this sick
stones all around the world could easily have been.
Let's see. Which one did you send me now?
Some other guys made one.
All right, let me see. You found a better one?
Some like German guy, it sounds like.
All right, let's see.
Russian, maybe?
I don't know.
Look at that fucking thing, man. That looks so artificial.
Welcome to my video. Everything happened in 1998 during the Mars Global Surveyor mission on the moon of Mars.
Okay, there you go.
It appears to be some kind of monolith has found, and it looks over there. In this series of images, you can see in my video photos from distance at each time.
Well, I mean, look at this thing. I mean, does that look something? Does that look artificial to you?
I mean, I've read stuff before where it sounded artificial to me. That's why, like, I've heard people describe, like, based on the shadow, you can tell how tall it is. It's like a fucking big monolith, man. It really is.
But
like,
doesn't that kind of strike
this
you?
Guy thinks.
What, John?
The scientist.
Oh, scientist. Okay.
That's not what's in California. This is something different.
Yeah.
I think Childress was right, kind of. I think if it is anything, I think that's what it could be.
Like a wireless transmitting system? Well, I mean, look, it's like that. Well, look, that just strikes me like that. Well, I mean, that just strikes me like that face on Mars thing.
I mean, look at it, though. You can see the shadow. It's a... I mean, it's probably natural, I guess, right? But it's a giant fucking straight spike sticking out of the planet.
See, they don't want you to use the clips, but the best shit to see the faces on Mars is always on fucking.
The faces on Mars are bullshit. No, those are bullshit.
Well,
don't even go there. Like, that's definitely bullshit because it was just the shadows on the camera.
Yeah.
But this thing, you can tell, like, that's real. It's not doctored image. And based on how the shadow is, you can tell that it's the dimensions that it looks like. It's a giant. It's like that's probably miles high. It's just a straight
miles high
coming out of the
miles high
ground.
monolith. I mean, you have to think the gravity's a little bit different there, so maybe they're able to build things.
Yeah, gravity's like light as shit on this moon.
Oh, this is cool. You ever seen the stories of the real life Men in Black?
No, but that's fake. This stuff I think is real right here.
No,
this is something
come
sketchy.
on. This is kind of.
There's no real life Men in Black. No.
What are you talking about? Somebody that goes and advocates about like deep state shit and government bullshit. You know, come on.
Not like that. I just explain capitalism. I don't explain anything. Like I don't invent.
All right. Let's. All right. Let me play this. We're gonna look at the evidence. I'm gonna get you to weigh in on this, bro. Let's go to it.
On BuzzFeed Unsolved for covering the real-life Men in Black. Are they real? Are they as charming as their Hollywood counterparts?
You think Mars rovers are?
Watching Men in Black, I never knew it was based on a true story.
Today we find out.
It's not based on a true story.
The Men in Black are typically described as wearing black suits, being expressionless, cold, sinister, and in some cases, inhuman. The Men in Black seem to only talk to two kinds of people. Those who claim to have seen
PK
a
just
UFO
comes.
and those who research.
He just comes for the sicko shit at the end.
Secret organization.
when we talk about the aliens.
A white card with a crest and the word security on it. And in some cases, they refer to each other by number rather than name. They threaten and scare people into remaining silent about their UFO encounters and or research.
Let me see if
Think of them as the cleaners of the extraterrestrial universe.
How much black do they actually wear? Do they look like the Men in Black that we see in the movies?
We'll get into what they really look like later.
Once they pull apart their
this
skin
is pretty creepy, actually.
and the alien comes out.
Now that you know the basics, here are, in my opinion, the most terrifying reports of encounters with the Men in Black. The first ever recorded experience with the Men in Black came from Harold Dahl in June 1947. Harold Dahl was out on his boat in the Puget Sound where he claimed he saw 6 giant donut-shaped objects in the sky. One of the objects fell apart, spilling debris that killed his dog and injured his son. He took photos of the debris, but said they were later fogged over by a man in black who told him not to speak of the incident.
They had donuts in 1947? How old are donuts?
What?
He said he saw donut-shaped objects in the sky.
That's what you were thinking of when I was telling you that story? His fucking dog died.
Yeah.
Okay. The next incident comes from Robert Richardson in 1967. Robert Richardson reported that he collided with a UFO while driving at night in Toledo, Ohio. On impact, the object vanished. Richardson took home a small lump of metal that he believed was from the UFO. A week later, Richardson said he was visited by 2 men in black suits. He said the 2 men asked for the piece of metal from the site, but when Richardson informed them that he had turned it over for testing, they threatened him. Quote, "If you want your wife to stay as pretty as she is, then you'd better get the metal back." End quote. Richardson never heard from the men again and still has no idea.
They threatened his wife?
Metal.
Why did he go to the police? Why did he search on the internet? What do I do?
I think he may have gone to the police. There is no internet, by the way. It's in 1967. He probably just searched. However people searched back then. I don't know. Fucking
encyclopedias.
I don't know.
Jinx.
The next encounter happened in New Jersey in 1968. Jack Robinson, a UFO researcher, and his wife Mary were terrorized by a man in black that would stand across the street from their apartment building. They reported their apartment appeared to be rummaged through, and after seeing the strange man for 3 days in a row, their friend Timothy Green Beckley decided to get a closer look and managed to snap a picture. This is a rare instance
Men in
of
Black.
a reported MIB
There it is.
caught
There
on
he is.
camera.
What? It's just a guy in a suit.
How do we know he's
Well, I
actually
mean, what are
dressed
the
in
Men in
black
Black
and
supposed
it's
to
a
be?
black
They're
and white
supposed to be a bunch of
picture?
guys in
Could be a
suits,
dark
right?
movie.
Okay. These next encounters I'm going to go over are a little more bizarre and offer much
this is
stranger
crazy.
implications. On September 11th, 1976, Dr. Herbert Hopkins, a doctor living in Maine, was studying a UFO incident when he reportedly got a phone
what do they
call
do?
from a man
They
who
go out
identified
and
himself
intimidate
as a
people who see
representative of a
UFOs?
New
Right.
Jersey
Yeah,
UFO
look, watch.
organization. The man asked if Dr. Hopkins was alone and if they could review research. Dr. Hopkins agreed, and by the time he hung up the phone and turned on the lights outside, Dr. Hopkins claimed the man was somehow already coming up the stairs to his door. Hopkins' description of the man is the most horrifying yet. The man wore a neatly tailored black suit, was bald with no eyebrows or eyelashes, and had smooth, dead white plastic skin like a doll. His lips were ruby red, and his speech was expressionless and monotone as if you were hearing a machine.
I just hit the ad button.
I don't know.
He's pale, really tight fake skin, but the thing they choose to make real is the ruby red lips. They put all their technology into making those lips super realistic, but the rest of the man can't speak normal, and he looks horrible, like his face is skin white. What?
The man in black told Hopkins to take out a coin and said, "Watch the coin." After that, Hopkins claims, quote, "It started to develop a silver color instead of copper, and then the silver became bluish, and the penny was getting quite fuzzy, out of focus, blurred, and then it simply was gone. It slowly dematerialized."
What?
End quote. After that, Hopkins said the man ordered him to destroy his UFO research.
Encounters like this, if they were real, they would not be this interesting.
If in the off chance this actually happened, how shitty would that be? If you tell a story, no one's gonna believe you first off, and second off, you're gonna look like a crazy person. This next encounter is with someone you probably know.
Oh, you go look, Dan Aykroyd.
Dan Aykroyd.
In January 2002.
Well, he was on Rogan. That was
Dan
actually
Aykroyd
pretty
took a
interesting
TV
too.
show called Out There to the Sci-Fi Network that would break serious ground on a wide range of topics in the alien media landscape. In the middle of conducting further interviews for the show, Dan stepped outside for a break where he reported seeing a black Ford sedan appear suddenly across the street. Dan reports that one large man in black got out of the car and gave Dan a dirty look. Dan said he looked away for a brief second, and when he turned back, the car was
look
gone.
like a Man in Black.
2 hours after the car disappeared, Dan was given bad news from the producers of the show. Dan said, quote, "We were told we were not to continue taping, and the show was canceled, and none of them would air."
What?
Quote.
Why is it not the government? Why is it some weird alien organization coming after them?
If that were to be true, that would mean that the government is in accordance with these aliens already.
So the Men in Black could show up at Obama's desk and be like, "Hey, stop looking for aliens, you pesky human."
But I saved the best encounter for last.
There we go.
On October 14, 2008, near Niagara Falls, hotel manager Shane Sovar, along with a hotel security guard, reported seeing a large triangular UFO outside his hotel. A group called the Aerial Phenomenon Investigations Team looked into the incident. They reported that a couple weeks later, according to 3 other witnesses, 2 unidentified men in black visited the hotel. The men in black terrified the hotel staff and were looking for Shane Sovar and the hotel security guard, who were luckily not there at the time. And when Shane Sovar reviewed the hotel security footage, he discovered that the camera had actually caught 2 men on tape.
Look, watch
what
this.
we're about
Watch
to
this.
watch is that footage.
Look at it.
No one's gonna die, are they?
No.
Look, there they are. The men in black.
Sovar reported that the
He's wearing a
witnesses
fedora.
described the men as tall with
Holy
black suits,
shit.
black hats, identical faces, extremely pale skin, no eyebrows, no eyelashes,
Identical
and abnormally
faces?
large eyes. A woman who spoke with the men claimed that she felt that the men knew what she was thinking. Is this video proof that the MIB exist? Or is this video simply an internet hoax?
Can I be 100% honest?
Yeah.
I'm really trying here. They just look like businessmen.
So you just think there's 2 abnormally large...
They were abnormally large?
They look...
Oh, look, they look the same. The one pixel, it's so blurry.
Okay, look at this guy right
Look
here.
how tall they are.
The fucking guy standing next to the door.
Okay.
Look at him next to them. Unless he's super tiny.
Are basketball players aliens? Is Kobe? Is your precious Kobe an alien?
I mean, they're 2 guys.
Yeah, he might be.
Unfortunately, most cases of UFO or
No one
alien
wears hats
encounters
like
come
that.
in the form of first-person accounts.
That's just a
and
dude.
The MIB are no different. Do they exist? Are they from the government? Are they even human? Ultimately, it comes down to what you believe. Me personally, I believe that while they may not be aliens, even I can't believe that, I do believe that there may be a government agency out there that would regulate these sort of things to prevent mass hysteria.
I can buy into the fact that the Men in Black may be a real thing.
Okay.
What do you think? What do you think they do?
Well, look, I mean, I'm just saying, I don't know if they're... I think it's kind of realistic to think that there's some kind of government agency that would go ahead and legitimately look into shit, or if there's evidence, could collect that kind of evidence, right? Come on, that's not far-fetched. I mean...
Yeah, I just don't know what there would be, like... I don't think that there would be, like, a different agency that was tasked specifically.
Well, look, we talked about how they would compartmentalize everything, right? They compartment.
It's probably just like the X-Files. It's probably like a division like that. Just like 2 FBI agents are detailed to handle that.
But what are you talking about? In the X-Files, all that shit was kept from them too. It wasn't like the FBI was in on it. There was all of the FBI. The whole point of it was they were investigating shit that they can't get answers to. Right, and then there was that whole.
I thought they were like a special division, though, weren't they?
Yeah,
like
they were a special division that was supposed to go ahead and debunk the weird shit that people come across. That's why they had like a mantra of the week and all that kind of stuff. But
so I think these guys are.
No, but that's not what it. But what they're saying, or what they're signaling to, is some kind of agency that goes around and collects evidence and intimidates witnesses.
I know, but think about it though. There's so many witnesses, right? What do they? What happens with the witnesses now? Like, how many of them get through every year, right? So either they're really bad at it, or all the people who come out are all like limited hangouts and controlled opposition things.
Right, but but the other thing is actual evidence. So, like how they specify, you had like a chunk of a craft. I mean, like
that's what ATIP did.
Huh?
That's what ATIP was in charge of, though. It was a big scandal when the records came out.
What?
That Bob Bigelow thing. That's the thing that, like, the To the Stars Academy broke the story. Those were the people, the New York Times article, Elizondo.
That they're collecting, what,
scraps? Yeah, that was the big crux of the New York Times story, was that ATIP was the Advanced Aerial Threat Identification Program, and they were supposedly tracking down like visual evidence of encounters and then the radar footage and all that they had. And they claimed part of their purview at least was examining materials, and like I don't know, I never saw them say like in a specific way that I was comfortable with that they actually had something. Like they kind of beat around the bush, and like Bigelow had I saw something that was like the accounting for the program, right? Like how much the contractor was charging them for the services. And there was stuff on there for like, storage, like craft, material storage, like, like associated with the program. So they had something who might not, I don't necessarily know that it was from another world, but like they were charging the taxpayers something to study crash recovered materials, whatever they ended up being.
But see, that's what I'm getting at. I mean, you don't think there would be a side division of something that would handle certain things like that? Because it's one thing to have eyewitness accounts; it's another thing to have tangible proof. So if there was some kind of agency and part of the government that was in charge of collecting that kind of stuff, so there's nothing more than a witness's word to go on, that doesn't seem too far-fetched to me.
Yeah, basically I'm saying like I don't think that the job duties are not fulfilled at some point in time by some people. I just don't know. I would lean towards not thinking it's significant enough that they have a whole Men in Black organization. I would be more inclined to think it was something more like X-Files, where it's just a few people were tasked to. And then, you mean like, you're saying that these are like the people that they're investigating the whole time, like the deep state spooks, right? You think that's who the Men in Black are, not the FBI agents?
Like
because they do different things. What we're saying here. So like Mulder and Scully would be the ones who went to, like a reported encounter and collected weird shit that was on the ground.
No,
right?
that's not.
Right?
No, that's not what they would do. If
something weird went down, they would get assigned to it,
Yeah, if something weird happened, they would go ahead and question the witnesses. But see, in like, since you're bringing up X-Files and everything, when they would get close to actually having some kind of evidence to go back to the FBI with, the Men in Black in the show would intervene and take their shit from them.
So they were doing a different job, though. Like the job that you're seeing is not the same thing. Like the people who go out to a crash site or report a crash site,
right?
Either there's a whole nother level that we don't even hear about ever,
right?
Or, yeah, but like, I mean, all I'm saying is we would have no evidence for that level. Like, because the encounter, like the stuff that we see now, like that fucking, the Phoenix Lights, all of that stuff, like the big giant encounters that people talk about, like, that stuff is just reported in the mainstream press, right? Like, MUFO keeps track of it.
Okay,
right? Like,
but still, there's a difference between seeing Phoenix Lights and then having a part of a craft that you go and you take home with you, and then having some government spook show up at your door and be like, we know you have the thing. Give me the thing.
Right, so what I'm saying is I don't have any evidence to make a judgment on this stuff. Like, the only stuff I know about is the stuff that's in the mainstream press, right? Like, that's the only thing we have any evidence for. Or, like, you know, like, commonly acceptable, like, internet forums. Like, that's the only proof that, like, a regular person would be able to find. So, like, if there's something above that where, like, I would never come into contact with it, I would never, you know, unless it happened to me, then I would have no way to make a judgment about whether how realistic it is.
Well,
like,
they made
my
like,
other opinions about like what I think is real and not is based on like lots of reading about it for years, like different sources, like coming to like synthesizing different sources and being like, okay, if I had to guess, I'd say this is what's happening, right? Like, I wouldn't, you know. I'm not saying it for certainly, just saying in my like expert analysis, like as somebody who's read a lot of like dumb shit on the internet.
Let me play this thing up. I found another one. Let's see what you think about this one.
June 1947. Puget Sound, Washington.
I feel like I'm pretty objective with my
harbor patrolmen, Harold Dahl,
my UFO supernatural theories.
When they observed unusual saucer-shaped aircraft in the sky.
I feel like I'm pretty. I'm pretty skeptical. I'm not.
Say it is. One of these objects was maneuvering in a very erratic and strange fashion.
I feel like I have a good bullshit detector
and it suddenly exploded.
Yeah, I think so too.
Showering all this strange wreckage down into the harbor.
One of those objects dropped something down onto the ship, which actually killed a dog.
Yeah, see, this is the dog story.
According to Chrisman and Dahl,
yeah.
After they returned to port, events got even stranger.
Gentlemen, perhaps you've seen the weather balloon?
Balloon?
It was a random weather balloon test.
Hey, man.
This seems like
an explosion,
like a controlled leak, like
nothing
the balloon is hanging out.
Dahl
this kind of
was
story.
approached by a real man in black, and he was threatened with his life. His family's life was threatened.
You'll not speak of this to anyone.
Making it very, very clear that under no circumstances.
How do they know that guy's not just
encounter.
like?
You don't want to alarm anyone, do you?
This particular case is
like military police or something.
This was the very first man in black encounter in which a witness was threatened after having seen a UFO.
It also contained a key feature of the Men in Black.
You know, the G-men look. A thin tie, very well-pressed pants, black overcoat.
Very often wearing fedora-style hats. So they do have this air of authority about them, which does give off kind of like a government angle.
These visits began occurring with regularity. Wherever a UFO event unfolds, and someone starts asking questions, soon they realize they're the ones being investigated.
No?
I don't know, man.
Not convinced?
I like, it just seems like that's way too clean of a story. Like, spaceship blew up and it landed on the ship. And the FBI, you know, or whoever you would call those guys.
Let me see. This one's a longer video.
Like, I feel like it's basically a question of
it's likely you know this
frequency
term
of events.
due to the popular
Like,
right.
I'm not saying that people don't do the job of the Men in Black. I'm just saying I don't know how often it occurs. enough to necessitate a whole nother layer of bureaucracy. Like, there's you read those library books?
Which ones?
Well, just as they are portrayed in the movies, these men are supposedly government agents who work in secret to keep any data related to alien encounters and UFOs under wraps from the general public. They are based in the United States of America. There exist many tales of sightings of these mysterious agents and people who claim to have had direct contact with them in the past. However, no solid evidence can point to where these people come from or who exactly they are working for. It is said these men appear unannounced and warn people to destroy any evidence they may possess relating to the existence of aliens before going public with it or face serious consequences. So, while hard evidence is limited, let's take a look at a handful of accounts over the years where people have spoken of their experiences.
Let's see, which accounts do they have here? Alright, so that was the one that we saw with them walking in.
Sightings of these men in the Laundry Files, that's what it's called.
Laundry Files?
It's about like a British Men in Black, basically, but it's like more, it's more like, what's it called? Lovecraftian. And paranoia associated with the war, which took place during this time. I'm just like looking it up. It's just like they don't have they're all books. They don't have any. And of course, the U.S. government were eager to follow up these reports, believing they could be make a show out of it. They should. Over by their enemy at the time, Russia. Harold Dahl and his son were two such men who reported a UFO sighting from their fishing boats.
Okay, so this was the boat
not just
thing.
One, but 6 flying saucers in the sky above them. Apparently, these ships dropped molten waste into the lake, which killed Dahl's dog and left his son injured too. Harold told his friends and family around town about this traumatic event after he was in black. This man told Dahl not to speak of the matter again and to deny everything. Later, he had a visit from various Air Force agents who wished to collect data on the matter.
AOC?
And eventually, the FBI wrote a report on Dahl's encounter, which can be seen in the photocopy here.
See, they got a letter from the FBI for that.
Dahl denied everything and said it was all a hoax on his part. However, years later, he claimed that this statement had been made under duress, meaning he was pressured into saying it by his mysterious This is the first guy? The man in black. The guy in Oregon?
So you go, yeah, that was the one.
There was a doctor by the name of Herbert Hopkins who worked as a UFO consultant in Maine. He had received an important phone call regarding information regarding a UFO in the area from an anonymous activist in the UFO community. But only moments after receiving this call, did you see Dr. Hopkins video of the was satellite visited by a apart? man dressed in black who warned him to destroy all information that was to be given to him by the activist when they arrived, as well as anything he currently had in his possession. Dr. Hopkins was skeptical of the man in black until he used a particularly spooky scare tactic. The man in black correctly guessed that Hopkins had 2 penny coins in his pocket and told him to remove one and hold it in the palm of his hand. He then went on to make the coin disappear without ever touching it. Hopkins Do you think it was the men in black who removed the California monolith? The man in black. What did the story say? If Dr. There's a story about it in Vice.
Yeah, I mean the people that removed it. I mean, there's a video of the monolith getting removed now. So let me see.
The one in Oregon, though. What about the new one?
The new one's still there, right? The one in California is.
Mysterious monolith update. Police are investigating the destruction of California monolith. Group of young men chanting "Christ is King" and threatening undocumented immigrants and literal space aliens dismantled the structure earlier this morning.
What?
Yeah,
no.
Nice. Yeah, dude. The fucking MAGA got it. They were pissed off. MAGA took my monolith.
Oh, this is stupid. All right, let's go to it. Let's see. California Monolith destroyed and replaced with a cross by racist group. On Wednesday afternoon, the third monolith that popped up around the world in recent weeks appeared on a mountaintop in Atascadero, California. But just as quickly, a Twitter user posted a photo that appeared to show that the structure has already been removed. On Thursday afternoon, Vice confirmed that the monolith had indeed been taken down and had been removed overnight by a group of racist far-right men who live streamed their vandalism as it took place on an account called Cultural War Criminal, who subsequently erected a cross on the mountaintop instead. Christ is king in this country. One of the men can be heard saying on the live stream video, "We don't want illegal aliens from Mexico or outer space." According to Vice, throughout the live stream, the men in the video frequently talked about white power, burning crosses, and also addressed viewers on the stream with racist epithets. Additionally, other videos on the Culture War Criminal channel reportedly included conspiracy theories linking Hillary Clinton to the pedophile rape tunnels and other racist materials. God damn it.
Who said that? They said that?
Yeah. God damn it. Can't have anything fun with these people. Ugh. Man. Replace the damn monolith with the cross. Why would they go straight to that though? About do you think? I don't know.
Dude, that was a lot more details than the Vice story. The Vice story was like running interference for the chuds, making racist comments during the video. That's all it says.
Well, that's kind of sad.
Dude, I hope they the AI is gonna get them. The AI is going to come alive. Back. That's what happened, dude. We should write this screenplay. Like, that's what happened to the guys in Utah. Like,
what, the AI is gonna come after the racists for destroying their monolith?
No, well, the guys who took it away, the guys who took it down in Utah, like it, like when it checked in with the computer, like say it like checks in every night at midnight, you know, like it's got like the mothership in orbit or like the satellite, and
they got a picture of these guys. They got a picture of these guys. Let's see. There you go.
I didn't see it.
Right there.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, dude, they look like the fucking bad guys from Lost Boys. Like, dude, we gotta. Oh man, those guys, they're destroying America.
That sucks. Yeah, this is why we can't have nice things.
Well, this is what's gonna happen, dude. It's gonna come back alive when it checks in with the
there we go.
ship, and then it's gonna put itself back together and then destroy these freaks.
See, mysterious monolith update: racists destroy California monolith. Proclaim Christ superior to space aliens. What the fuck, man?
Yeah.
Wow. Man, they would be Trump guys.
Christ is not superior to space aliens. Who the fuck would think that? It's fucking so much lamer than space aliens. Those kids are gonna be like
so stupid.
I feel like somebody should go get them. Do we know who they are? We should like.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like send a bunch of pizzas to their house.
I don't know. All right.
Minecraft.
Why don't we sign off now, bro? It's already over 3 hours. But yeah, we're gonna thank everybody for joining us and for helping us reach affiliate over on Twitch. Yeah, it was pretty awesome that we already got to that milestone.
Did you look? Can we like, did you give us any bits? Did you see if we could do that?
Yeah, I mean, I looked at it. We have all those things that I showed you out earlier on the page now. So I mean,
there should be. I mean, you can do it in the chat, right? Isn't that what bits are?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not too familiar.
I think
with
we have
bits.
to like set it up.
Well, whatever it is, we'll figure it out. We'll set all that stuff up for tomorrow. When we'll be on.
Doesn't look like any ads ran.
Yeah,
I hit the ad button a couple times.
Yeah, we'll see. But Thanks, Gears. Sticking with us through the stream. Everybody else did. We'll be back on tomorrow. We'll find some more fun stuff to go through. I'm not sure yet, but we'll go ahead and set up some stuff. And if we got to get all the benefits of the affiliate program,
I've never seen anybody use bits. Like, I don't think that's the thing people use. I just feel like that's would be the easiest way to test it.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, we'll check it out. Make sure if you're
Doesn't
not
look like any ads or anything. Oh, yeah. Let's see if we can.
Well, you want to raid somebody?
Yeah. Go raid. What's this guy doing? Let me see.
But yeah, if you're not yet, go ahead, follow us on Twitter at UnelectableA. On YouTube, hit that subscribe, do that good stuff. Yeah. All that good stuff. All right.
All right, good.
All right.